led by the exceptional quarterback Steve Bartkowski. Had a great day last week against the Saints, 19 of 30, throwing passes like this one, in this case connecting with Alfred Jackson, number 85. And so the Falcons crushed the Saints 35-0. They're on a roll at the moment. But tonight they must go against the defending Super Bowl champions, the Niners, led by the brilliantly competitive Joe Montana, who in a losing effort in a memorable game against San Diego had another superb time. 12 times he hit Dwight Clark. So tonight it's the Niners against the Falcons.
California looking down from a Goodyear Blimp Columbia sellout crowd, 61,000 expected for a matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the 49ers. And we are live from Candlestick Park in California. ABC's NFL Sunday Night Edition, the Atlanta Falcons against the San Francisco 49ers. This good football game tonight. Joe Montana, his team in trouble with a 2-4 record. Nevertheless, Joe looking for an additional 300-yard game to tack onto his record he set a week ago last Saturday. So we are looking for a fine football game. The standings, Howard, they reflect the dire straits, as a matter of fact, of the 49ers.
Yes, they do, Frank. And in view of the action thus far this weekend, here are the NFC standings. Dallas and Washington have clinched. Should Atlanta win tonight, they will have virtually clinched the playoff berth. Green Bay still in good position despite the tie with Baltimore. Minnesota and St. Louis still have a lot of work ahead of them. Then the big scramble. Remember, 8 teams qualified. Detroit, New Orleans, Giants, Tampa Bay. And if San Francisco can win tonight, well, then they're in that scramble. And that's what Coach Bill Walsh dreams of. Frank, back to you, the start of the game.
And as we look at Steve Bartkowski, while he's a very fine quarterback, Fran, the Falcons have really been traveling to their 4-2 record with their defense, which has all of a sudden returned.
They lost their defense last year. Their offense was still there, but they got that aggressive defense the last 2 weeks. They found a pass rush last week, Gift, and their much maligned secondary came up with 3 interceptions. You know, great secondaries happen when you have wonderful pass rush and defense, and when you get that, the secondary can make the plays.
They had it last week, 35-0 over Bum Phillips and the New Orleans Saints. They got 7 sacks, 2 by Joel Williams, their fine linebacker, who 2 years ago led the league in sacks. And more than that, they held Kenny Stabler and Bum Phillips to 91 yards of total offense. That is a defensive effort. As you can see, the Atlanta Falcons will kick off. Mick Luckhurst will set it up. We're looking at Dana McLemore, a 10th round rookie draft pick out of Hawaii. And Amos Lawrence is back there, number 20, along with McLemore. There is Amos Lawrence. Been a bit of a disappointment to the 49ers thus far this year, who, while they have been doing very well throwing the ball, they've been weak defensively, and their running game has been totally absent. Luckhurst hooks it, and it travels to Amos Lawrence. And Lawrence pins out over the 25-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10, and Joe Montana having a great year, passing at almost 65%. Of course, the Super Bowl MVP of a year ago with their win over Cincinnati. And he has that string of 5 consecutive 300-yard plus games, looking for a 6th. There is the offensive unit, the 2 free agent setbacks, Bill Ring and Jeff Moore. The 49ers, the only team that starts 2 setbacks, both of them free agents. Ronaldo Nehemiah has been inserted, top of your screen, the great hurdler in the starting unit for the 49ers tonight. Great speed, of course. Inexperience, yes. On first and 10, Montana checks off 1 receiver. Looks for the tight end down the middle, Charlie Young. A pass that could have been caught. And again, you saw how Montana works. He looked right, he looked left, and then found the 3rd alternate and delivered a pretty good shot to Charlie Young. He did not hold. Defensively, let's check it out. Changes. We are going to see many changes for the Atlanta Falcons tonight. They have lost the fine defensive end Jeff Merle. Joel Williams, I spoke of him a moment ago. If he is indeed back to his 1980 form when he led the league in sacks, he had 2 last week. Well, he could be quite a factor in the drive to the Super Bowl. Set to go now, 2nd down and 10. The ball just short of the 26-yard line. Russ Francis checks in. So we have Charlie Young and Russ Francis, 2 tight ends. That's Young in motion. Ring on left side. Following Jeff Moore, and steps out of bounds, short of the first down, out over the 30-yard line, near the 32-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and about 4. Kenny Johnson defensively there, up from his cornerback position.
As you look at Bill Ring, this kid has become a very popular figure here. Second-year man from BYU. He is so quick off the mark, sometimes you can't believe it. And that's, of course, has been a major San Francisco problem, absence of established running backs.
He's also a local boy, went to Carmont High School in nearby Belmont. Third down, 4, Montana back. And Jeff Moore had it up in the air, and he was hit hard by Glazebrook. It'll be 4th down, and San Francisco trots out their punting unit. That means Jim Miller coming out. Glazebrook playing the strong safety, really collided with Jeff Moore.
And as you saw there, Giff, what the Atlanta Falcons defense will do is hit you. Glazebrook's one of the best hitters in the league. They know the 49ers will complete passes. They want to track them, as they say, after they complete them and hit them hard, and they will.
You follow this game, you know there's a dangerous return man back from the Canadian Football Leagues of a year ago, Billy White Shoes Johnson. He has returned 5 touchdowns in the NFL during his career. A flag goes down, as it usually does, on the punting team, and we see that so frequently. Back at the line of scrimmage, we would suspect an illegal man downfield.
Giff, that was a legal procedure. The man on the right side of the line for the 49ers moved before the snap. The Falcons will have the choice of either taking the ball on the 30-yard line or taking the penalty.
Well, the ball at the 31-yard line. You got Billy Johnson back there. You're in good field position already. Do you want to give Billy Johnson another opportunity? And that will be the decision, and it has been made.
Offense 28. Decline the penalty. First down the other way.
It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, after 6 games, they're 3rd in the NFC offensively, as we look at Lehman Bennett, who arrived with the Falcons in '77, took them to the playoffs twice, 79 and 80. And as we check out the Atlanta Falcon offensive unit, Steve Bartkowski at quarterback, William Andrews and Lynn Kane. But Lynn Kane will alternate with a very fine rookie running back, Gerald Riggs. 1st down at 10, 31-yard line, Atlanta Falcons. Kane, top of your screen as a flanker. And Andrews, right side. Strong running Andrews, and a flag is down as Andrews is close to 1st down yardage.
As you look at the penalty here, Giff, the 49ers have done something different started out. They started out with a 4-man line and started out with Brad Dean in the lineup. That's different for them. They usually run the 3-man line, of course, with 4 linebackers.
And it'll be marked off against the Atlanta Falcons, negating a 11-yard pickup by William Andrews.
Oh, I'm sorry, Frank.
I was just going to say what Fran pointed out. They're going to try and use Brad Dean all along the line of scrimmage, sticking in different places. They'll dropping into the pass coverage. They have just been terrible on defense. It's hard to believe the team that was so great a year ago, as we listen to the call for a moment.
The hands 80 offense.
Junior Miller, illegal use of the hands, but in 6 games, the 49ers only have 8 sacks. They only have 6 interceptions. And that is not Super Bowl champion type football. And Bill Walsh is well aware of it. They'll make some changes tonight, principally in the use of Fred Dean. 1st down, 19. Andrews.
Is he strong?
He's a bull.
Just bulling ahead.
Oh, every time you look at Andrews, you look at Joe Cribbs. Call the defense, if you will, Frank. We'll finish in a moment.
This will be a defense that we were given to begin with. Obviously, it's changed considerably. They open with a 4-man front, inserting Dean in there. These are excellent linebackers. Keena Turner, the best athlete, and, of course, the rookie backfield of a year ago. They've had their problems, but as anyone who knows this game recognizes, when you do not get a pass rush, makes no matter how good you are in the secondary, they will beat you. 2nd down, 14. Ball at the 26-yard line. Andrews single setback. Bartkowski fires it out. It is to Alfred Jenkins, and yes, they're saying it is complete. Out to the 37-yard line, short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and a long 3.
If you look at Atlanta's offense, Bartkowski likes to throw the ball to his 2 wide receivers, Jenkins and Jackson. Here he is on Eric Wright here, coming down, makes a little sideline move, and gets the catch. The Falcons are trying to run the ball more. They're probably throwing the ball less times than any team in professional football. They don't have a short passing game. They have a long passing game, so they need to have the run to get some continuity.
3rd down, 3. Jenkins has now caught at least 1 pass in 96 consecutive games. The longest string in the NFL. In the 37, Andrews needs 3. He gets it. Now close to the 44-yard line. Another flag is down.
What I was about to say, Giff, was when a team had at one time in the backfield Andrews, Cribbs, and Brooks of San Diego, how did Auburn ever lose a game?
Because you win with defense and offensive linemen.
Have 12 men on the field.
That's a good way to win. 49ers assessed 12 men on the field. And it could be that they're getting their 3-man and their 4-man front confused. Something new for the 49ers.
12 men on the field. Decline the penalty. First down.
There was about a 7-yard pickup, and the first down is at the 44-yard line. Consequently, the penalty was declined. A look at Bill Walsh. Came in 79. Pulled it all together. Won the Super Bowl over Cincinnati this past year, 26-21. But struggling this year, and primarily on defense. Junior Miller in motion. A lot of time for Bartkowski. And firing it out complete to Alfred Jackson, and Jackson. Nope, they're saying no. And now there's a discussion. They're going to give the catch to Jackson.
I thought Lehman Bennett made an excellent point at our production meeting today. He talked about how his team, as you look at this again, how his team began to lose its confidence and how it's now regaining it. The hardest thing in the world, he said, Fran, made a lot of sense, was that if you don't have a long tradition of winning and you suddenly go bad and start losing, the tradition doesn't obtain. Right. He pointed out that teams like Dallas and Miami with Landry and Shula have that tradition.
Yes. 43-yard line, first down. You saw Jackson dragging the foot. The completion stood, and this is Len Kane. And down goes Len Kane. It was Hacksaw Jack Reynolds, who came in a year ago after 10, 11 years with the Rams and really inspired this defensive unit, a bunch of youngsters. And it was Reynolds on the stop for a loss of a couple. It'll be second down and 12. The ball at the 45-yard line.
Jeff, not only is this an important game for both teams, especially San Francisco, this is an intense rivalry. They're division foes. They really don't like each other. We will see a lot of hitting tonight.
Jenkins, the little man. I say that because he's 5'9", 155 pounds, top of your screen, but he plays like the big boys. And Jackson is put left. Junior Miller in motion. Come full blitz. Bartkowski reads it and fires out to Miller. Good read by Bartkowski. They were all coming. And they were picked up well enough that he could get the ball to the big tight end.
The blitz will be coming up the middle. Bart doesn't like to go to his tight end, but he does here. He hits big Junior Miller. And Junior Miller probably doesn't have the speed that he had when he came up. He was advertised as having 4.6 40 speed and maybe about 4.8 40. Watch the... They don't pick up Keena Turner. Being the good veteran quarterback that he is, Bartkowski still got the ball off.
Third down, 4. Ball inside the 38-yard line. Wide receivers. Bartkowski gets the ball to Junior Miller. He has yardage for the first down, and a flag is down. Keena Turner covering Junior Miller, and we'll get a holding call. And again, a first down is negated.
There's Lehman Bennett. Frank, you mentioned that Lehman isn't throwing as much this year.
Right.
Bartkowski. He's actually averaged about 30 passes a
Holding,
game.
offense, 64.
Pat Howell.
Pat Howell. He's averaged about 30 passes a game, Fran. We'll look at it again. Catch, perhaps.
Pat Howell's on the left right there.
There he is.
He's got a whole host of that jersey of Lawrence Pillars coming up the middle. That was a pretty good call.
I mean, he held. The average is that high, Fran, because of one game in which Steve threw 55 passes. That was catch-up football against the Raiders.
Third down, 14. The ball inside the 48-yard line. Atlanta with the 3 wide receivers. Bartkowski, good, strong shot, but incomplete, intended for Jenkins. He was open for a moment and out. That's the punting unit for Atlanta.
The reason for that, Howard, going back to your theory, is that they felt they needed the big play more last year and depended on the big play. And they just didn't have the ball control that he would like to have with a short passing game. Bart doesn't throw the ball short. He needs the running game.
New punter for George Roberts into the Atlanta lineup. Smigelski, Dave Smigelski, who replaced the long-standing John James at the beginning of the season. He just apparently did not do it for Lehman Bennett. And now George Roberts name familiar in circles at Miami and San Diego. His first punt of the season. Freddie Solomon, dangerous return man, is deep, but this one comes short, and it'll be taken by Dwight Hicks. And Dwight Hicks works his way to the 29-yard line, where it'll be San Francisco's second possession of the game. We have 11:36 remaining in the first quarter. No score from San Francisco's Candlestick Park. Joe Montana exceeded 300 yards a week ago, Saturday, in a duel with Dan Fouts. They were both up there. Dan Fouts up there around 450 yards or whatever he was. He had one of the great days. And, of course, San Diego came away with the win. But it'll tell you something about a lot of yardage passing. The 49ers, with all of the great effort by Montana, as we look at him now, are 2-4, and they desperately need a victory tonight. On 1st and 10, Montana back. Out of the pocket. He does it so well. Sprints to the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 7. 3rd-round draft pick back in '79 when Bill Walsh came to the 49ers. Bill Walsh is known for many, many years as a great developer of quarterbacks. Talking with him last night about Kenny Anderson's development. Of course, Bill Walsh was with the Cincinnati Bengals at that time. Kenny Anderson came up. He worked with Dan Fouts, and he developed a couple of NCAA passing champions at nearby Stanford University. 2nd down, 7. Here comes Jeff Moore. Scramble. Bobby Butler came up hard, made the contact on Jeff Moore, and he's erased as he crosses the 35-yard line.
Ronnie Lott, who's been having some troubles this year, quite unlike a year ago. Sensational last year, out of USC, of course, but now playing at less than par physically and struggling. Had a difficult night when we had him that Thursday night in Anaheim, Frank.
He did indeed. That was a game they came away with. 2 tight ends are in, Charlie Young, Russ Francis, and Alden Nehemiah, the flanker back, number 83. He gets the reverse. He has great speed. And Nehemiah, with all of his speed, the Atlanta defense not fooled at all. Loses a couple of yards. It'll be 4th down. Mike Perko, the rookie from Utah State, starting at the right defensive end for Atlanta, was there defensively.
But that's one of the 2 twists you'll see tonight, I think, with the Niners. Nehemiah used on reverses. Fred Dean sometimes becoming a linebacker. I don't think you'll see Russ Francis throw a pass tonight, however.
Look at Billy Johnson, 3rd in the NFL on punt returns, averaging over 12 yards. I told you earlier, during his career, he's returned 5 for touchdowns. He'll be right on the sidelines, and he cannot stay in bounds. And once again, Atlanta has good field position, and fisticuffs break out of midfield.
And you've got a flag down, too.
Yep. The flag follows them. Well, we'll sort it out. Kenny Johnson of Atlanta was tied up with Lynn Thomas in San Francisco. Referee tonight, Ben Dright, sorting out the possibilities, and it's not a good one as it appears for Atlanta. That will be a 1st down, San Francisco.
All right, here's the play.
You don't hit our punter. I wonder he didn't try and step on his toe. Jim Miller, one of the, I think the only barefoot kicker. Punter in the National Football League.
After the punt, Atlanta will get the football with a 15-yard penalty.
Aha. Now, they will take it back down to the 32-yard line. They had marched it off against Atlanta, but it was after the punt. So Atlanta will have possession.
Wondered about that. But Atlanta already has, as you look at Ray Strong, Atlanta, well, that's just the point I was going to make. They've already had 3 big penalties. Legal use of hands, holding, and now this. Not a good sign, Sir Francis.
Personal foul, number 25, Atlanta, after the kick. 1st down, Atlanta.
Well, there's some teams, Howard, like the Raiders that used to be in Oakland and the Steelers that like to be penalized a lot because they knew they were being aggressive. Atlanta is not dissimilar to those two football teams. They're an aggressive team. They're going to be penalized a lot.
And rather than having the ball at the 32-yard line, the penalty against Ray Strong, pursuing the punter rather aggressively. Atlanta begins up their 18-yard line. Lynn Kane, right side, and Lynn Kane up over the 20-yard line to the 21. Gain of about 3. It'll be second down and 7. This offensive line of Atlanta, they've been together for a while now, and they really do a fine job in protecting Bartkowski, but they're also a pretty good run blocking unit.
They're a very good run blocking line. They're very big. They're experienced. They know what they're doing. They got a veteran center in Van Note. He calls the line blocking for them.
Rick Van Note, he's been around 14 years. Certainly share of coaches. Second down, 7. Quickly to Jackson, and he does not hold on.
Took his eye off the ball.
There.
Absolutely did.
It'll be third down and 7. Busy weekend for your ABC people.
Let's back into the thick of things in the AFC.
Third down, 7. 4-man front for the 49ers. And Bartkowski goes down. Lawrence Pillars was there.
Jeff Stover was there.
Stover was there.
And that's what the 49ers have been looking for, a
That's
pass
right.
rush.
That's only their 9th this year. The fewest, as you see on the graphic, by any NFC team.
And nobody's ever made all-pro in the secondary without a great pass rush in front of him.
George Roberts, he kicked for 28 yards a short time ago. Freddie Solomon now is almost at midfield for the 49ers. The 49ers will score in the game thus far with a great field position. Another bad kick by Roberts. Field is short by Dana McLemore. And McLemore inside the 30-yard line. And again, a wild scramble. Good field position for the 49ers as Roberts slices off another one. So we have 8:41 remaining in the first quarter. No score, but the 49ers, the Super Bowl champions, are threatening. Off another 28-yard kick. That's 2 for him. And the 49ers inside the 30-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons. Montana brings them up. Freddie Solomon split out to the left. White Clark in tight. That's Solomon in motion. Montana can run forever. Well, almost. He gets to the 21. A 9-yard pickup as the linebackers took deep drops. They had Solomon going deep, and the linebackers taking deep coverage underneath. Nothing in front of Montana, and he picks up 9 quick yards. It'll be second down, a little more than 1 for the first.
As great a passer as Joe Montana is, I think he's run tonight, Giff, for more yards than he's thrown for so far. He's had 2 rushes for 12 yards. He can beat you a lot of ways.
31 of 46 last week. That did not match Dan Fouts' 33 of 48 and 5 touchdowns. Bill Ring, left side. Ring will have the first down, and he struggles with the football. Atlanta's saying that they have it.
Officials already noted otherwise.
But it did look like it popped out, and he got it back.
Down to the 18-yard line goes Bill Ring. Let's take a look at it again. He got loose, but they say the whistle had blown.
And this young man does run hard. He only knows one speed, and that's full. He gets hit there by Curry. The ball's down, falling on the ground. I don't know whether he got it back or he got it back, but he
recovered it with his legs. 18-yard line. 7:21 in the first quarter remains. No score. Fake to Jeff Moore on the inside. Montana looking for Solomon, and Solomon is double covered. Went by the short man, but he picked up the deep man. That was Bobby Butler.
It wasn't well executed in the first place. The fake handoff. There was a stumble in the backfield there, a little mix-up. And then Joey had to reconcentrate. Solomon's a remarkable story. One of the best athletes ever produced in the west coast of Florida. Watch clock now.
Here comes Dwight down the field. He's going to take the inside route. Solomon took the outside route. And he is open, but you cannot see everything down there.
Yeah, but Joey
Montana
was
looking for Solomon. Second down 10. A little check-off play, goes to ring and ring inside the 15-yard line to the 14-yard line. A gain of about 5. It'll be third down and 5.
Quickly, Frank, completing the story of Solomon. He was a quarterback.
Yeah.
Tampa High School, brilliant athlete. And then when he came down to Miami, Shula thought he had one of his best ever. But Shula found that he had behavioral problems, thought he was injured too much, and begged off too much. All of that has changed under Bill Walsh, for which I think Walsh deserves at least some, if not a lot of credit.
Shula also needed a running back, and
He got
Bill Williams as part of the Solomon trade. Third down, long 5. Montana, Dwight Clark, and Clark held short of the first down, I believe. No, he's very close.
That is close, Skip.
A man who always knows where he is on the field. He cut this one kind of close. They'll bring them in for the measurement.
As you watch Clark here, I think he runs the shortest routes of any wide receiver I've ever seen in football. The backs will clear out way down the field beyond him, as you see there. But he will catch a lot of balls. I think, what did he catch, 12 passes last week?
And that's his 45th of the season. And after 6 games, he had 9 more than any other receiver in the NFL.
Big measurement here.
Will it be Wersching, or will the 49ers go on fourth down?
I think they're going to go for it.
They send in Russ Francis with the play. And on fourth down, you saw how much the 49ers, Bill Walsh, elects to go for the first.
And Giff, knowing Walsh, he may do anything. It's not a surefire bet that he's going to run this ball. He could play pass. Bill Walsh could do anything.
That's
Great
true.
creative mind.
And when you're 2 and 4 in this shortened season, you're more disposed to do anything.
Yeah.
The 2 tight ends are in.
I'd give the Bill ring.
Montana. The Surge may have picked up the first down. Went over the right side over Randy Cross. I believe he has it.
Strictly a referee's decision of where he wants to mark the football. I don't know how you tell where to mark it. We'll see.
Charlie Young indicates that they have it.
Naturally.
And a few Falcons are pointing the other way.
They'll bring it out one more time. And Atlanta is saying no.
I think he's got it based on where they marked it. I don't know. No.
Bring out the calipers, and Montana does not get the first down. Atlanta has the football, 1st and 10. The ball is at their own 8-yard line. Look again, over Randy Cross, right side. And drilled back. Tried to go over the top, and he was collected. But we have 5:48, still no score, and Atlanta has the football back. At 56+%. Passing at 62.7% this year. The man who, in 1980 and 81, threw for a combined 61 touchdown passes, leads the Falcons up at their 8-yard line. Junior Miller in motion. Lynn Kane. Kane. Hit at the 10-yard line after a pickup of a couple by Bob Horn, acquired from San Diego this season.
All right, let's take a look at some of the scores, beginning with Saturday.
Down and 8. The ball just over the 10-yard line of Atlanta. Andrews tried to cut back, looked for something, made a little bit out of nothing. It'll be 3rd down and 3. The ball at the 15. The rest here's against the 4 and 2 Atlanta Falcons. 3rd down and 3. Andrews, the single setback. Bartkowski changing it up. Andrews, big hole in the middle, moving behind Jeff Van Note and Pat Howell. Gets the first down out over the 20-yard line.
What a great back William Andrews is. As we see it again. Last week, William Andrews took a swing pass against the Denver Broncos, ran over Steve Wilson, went 86 yards to break that game open. He blocks, he runs, and here he goes again, right from behind William Andrews. You'll see him go straight up the middle.
You understated it, Fred. He ran up one side and down the other of Denver's cornerback. 1st down and 10. Gerald Riggs, or rather Andrews. Andrews for a gain of about 3. It'll be second down and 7.
Giff Riggs is down in the game. It's the first time we've gotten to see Gerald Riggs tonight, but he's the biggest Atlanta back and the fastest. He weighs 230.
But, Fran, we spotted him in the preseason game at Philadelphia against the Eagles. It was clear he was going to be a stick-out. There's a new wave in this league, as I've suggested. Freeman McNeil and Marcus Allen and now Gerald Riggs. Great young players.
First-round draft pick, Riggs, out of Arizona State. Second down and 7. Ball at the 24-yard line. This is Riggs. Riggs, swarming defense. First man there, Ed Judy, filling in tonight for Willie Harper, the veteran member of the 49ers. He's out of the game tonight with a sore ankle. Ed Judy,
and Ed Judy,
first-year man, injured reserve a year ago out of northern Arizona.
And he got up into the Atlanta backfield before Riggs get turned around. And I don't care if you weigh 250, if you don't get turned around upfield, you don't make many yards. But Riggs had no chance. Good play by Judy.
Loss of 1, third down and 8. Ball at the 22-yard line. Jenkins split to the left. Jackson out to the right. Bartkowski fires the ball, and it is complete. Working out of the backfield, William Andrews. He'll be short of the first down.
Good defense by the 49ers. They took away Bartkowski's favorite receivers. They double covered the outside receivers, made him throw underneath to the back. Wasn't quite enough yards.
And George Roberts, who has hit 2 consecutive 28-yard punts, the man on the spot at the moment, put the thrill back in the game for Lehman Bennett, the punting team. Freddie Solomon has dropped for the 49ers. Dangerous return man. He too has returned, well, he's returned 4 punts during his career for touchdowns. 2 dangerous punt return men, Billy White Shoes Johnson and Freddie Solomon. This time, Roberts hangs it up. It doesn't turn over, but it will take an Atlanta bounce. Inside the 26-yard line. So the 49ers will have possession. We still have no score. 1:23 remaining in the first quarter, and we'll be back at Candlestick Park right after this. 61,000, and it looks as though most of the fans who purchased their tickets are here tonight. Very few empty seats. 49ers, first down and 10, the ball at their 26-yard line. No score with 1:23 remaining in the first quarter. Play action, Jeff Moore taking it. Montana gets the ball to Moore, shovels it forward. Even he was going down, and he saved what could have been a loss at the line of scrimmage. And all over him was Don Smith.
Don't you love him?
It was a great play by Montana. It really was.
Always thinking.
Jeff Moore is shaken up.
He has taken some pounding in the last few weeks. We saw him in the game against L.A. where he had to leave the game for a while. Here, the fake to Moore. He's getting a good pass rush. Steps up. Just basketball flips it to Moore, who then gets tackled.
And let's take a look at it again. Jeff Moore remains on the turf. Now here comes Don Smith from the left side.
Let's watch him get hit here. Charlie Young trying to find somebody to help him out with. Misses a block. Gets hit in the head.
That's where he got hurt.
And at the moment, recently activated Ricky Patton, the 49ers leading rusher of a year ago who could not make the team, has come into the huddle. We'll be back. A shot from a knee in the ribs on the left side. He walked off the field. He is being looked at on the sidelines, and Ricky Patton, whom I mentioned, led the 49ers with over 500 yards rushing a year ago, is in there. He wears number 32. You saw the time remaining inside 1 minute of the first quarter. Fired incomplete, intended for Ricky Patton out on the flat. It'll be third down and 3.
Incomplete to Patton. Montana disgusted with himself, as you could see in the picture. These are 2 powerhouse offensive teams, yet they play each other peculiarly well, which may account for the absence of scoring.
When you play teams in your division, you know them better. The defenses know the offenses better. Defense is a game of recognition, and you don't score as many points against people in your own division.
For the 49ers, they're dead last in the National Football Conference rushing. They lead the NFL in passing. Third down and 3. Montana looks it over. Draw play. Bill Ring. Held short of the first down at the 34-yard line.
Bill Ring.
And once again, the 49ers fail to make the first down, and they'll have to punt. Jim Miller coming out onto the field. And Billy Johnson dropping for Atlanta. Billy Johnson, all those great years at Houston, was up in Montreal a year ago. Third leading receiver up there last year. But he has put the thrill back in the punt return unit for Atlanta. Miller. Johnson fields it at the 23. Tries to turn the corner, and he's dragged down as a flag also goes down. Johnson stepping out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Milt McCall, son of former All-American and Chicago Bear player Bill McCall, made the stop. But a flag is down. Three seconds remaining in the first quarter.
I bet it's one of those illegal blocks, Jeff. It was.
Yes.
From the back.
All right, let's look at the AFC standings with that big game coming up tomorrow night. The Raiders have clinched a playoff berth. Cincinnati can do the same with a victory tomorrow night. Miami and the Jets in good shape. San Diego needing that victory tomorrow night against Cincinnati. Buffalo, New England, Pittsburgh locked at 4-3, still in the scramble. Cleveland and Seattle, the rest forget about.
First and 10, Atlanta, 19-yard line. We understand from the bench that Jeff Moore, the running back for the 49ers, has a bruised back. He could be back in action. Four-man front for the 49ers. Quick toss, and this is Riggs. And Riggs up close to the 25-yard line for a gain of about 6. It'll be second down and 4 as the first quarter has expired with no score from either the Falcons or the 49ers. We'll be back with second quarter action. It'll be second down and 4 for Atlanta. Begin the second quarter, second down, 4. The ball just inside the 25-yard line. The Falcons, winners of 3 of their last 4, in which they have averaged 30 points. And a big winner last week against New Orleans, 35-0. Stacey Bailey, a rookie from San Jose State. Speedster in there, wide receiver, but this is William Andrews, left side, up close to the 23-yard line, short of the first down by about 1.5 yards.
First quarter stats, slight edge there to Atlanta, as you can see. Total yards, 2. Time of possession, not that materially different. But two teams going at one another with the knowledgeability of each other that Fran has already suggested.
And a lot of emotion, and only 4 first downs the first quarter by these two teams.
2 tight ends now for Atlanta. Keith Prepley and Junior Miller in there. Third down, long one. Andrews. And surging, swarming defense for the 49ers, something that they have not displayed much this season. Holds Andrews short, and once again the 49ers will have to punt.
And a seldom used linebacker, Ron Ferrari, came in and made the big hit there. That's good defense. You're playing against a big offensive line, big running backs, and San Francisco denied them. Both defenses playing extraordinarily well.
George Roberts set to kick. Deep, Freddie Solomon, flanked on either side by Dana McLemore and Dwight Hicks. Not a good kick again by Roberts. He does, however, take the bounce and work for Atlanta.
And that ball
another
almost
flag
hit
down.
Ronnie Lott, Frank. Almost hit him.
We've had a flag on almost every punt.
Every punt play. I can't understand what's happening.
This time an illegal man downfield.
I bet they'll make him punt it again.
Referee Ben Dry. Wide World of Sports, 5 o'clock Eastern Time, 4 o'clock Central, Saturday here on ABC. On first and 10, Solomon in motion. This is Ring. And down goes Ring in the arms of Joel Williams as he gets out over the 35-yard line for a gain of about 3. It'll be second down and 7.
Also in that play was 54 Fulton Kuykendall. And Kuykendall is having his best year ever for the Falcons. At the start of this season, they thought maybe he'd slipped and lost something.
He really is.
He really has come on and had a wonderful year.
But Joel Williams is back. Had a couple of sacks last week, and he is a terrific player when healthy.
Nehemiah back in the game. That's Skeets in motion, number 83. Second down, 7. Montana in trouble. And was it picked off? Kuykendall, if it is, it's his. No, they're saying no. One official had ruled that it was intercepted, and another official apparently with a better view says no, it was trapped. So Kuykendall's third interception in 2 games is canceled.
Let's take a look, Giff, and let's see what happens. There's the pass. Trying to hit Dwight Clark. Kuykendall's coming underneath him. And the ball is on the ground, and the referees are right again. Chalk one up for the referee.
Third down. Long 7. Dwight Clark now split. Top of your screen. Montana looking for Clark. Now checks off, and Charlie Young does not hold on. And it would have been very close for the first down. But it will be 4th down. And out comes the punting unit, which is getting a lot of exercise on the part of both teams tonight.
Far cry so far for Joey from a week ago.
Well, you know, when you have a game like that, people think you ought to have one like that every week. It's rather impossible. That was one of the greatest offensive games I've ever seen. I've never seen 2 quarterbacks play as well as Montana and Fouts did on one day, but you cannot do that every week.
You should know.
I absolutely should know.
Billy Johnson waiting for Jim Miller. Miller gets a good kick. Billy Johnson from the 24-yard line. Dancing down the sidelines and knocked out of bounds close to the 35-yard line. Hustling down there, Ed Judy, who is filling in tonight for an injured Willie Harper. So it'll be first down and 10. Atlanta, they have the ball at their own 36. A running game thus far for both teams.
That's unusual for the 49ers. This is Atlanta's best field position. Gift the 36. They had it one time before in the 31, but quickly got a 10-yard holding penalty. Other than that, they had no field position at all.
36-yard line. Bartkowski brings them up. Griggs and Andrews are the setbacks. Big, strong, bulling tights. Bartkowski, Griggs, and the rookie from Arizona State gets 7 yards to the 42-yard line.
That's why Bennett likes Riggs so much. He can do everything. Run, block, catch. Great coming out of the backfield. Surprised them all with that talent. And so he has rendered Lynn Kane a more valuable ball player because Kane, frequently injured, has the opportunity to go at full speed in the intervals when he is played.
Second down 3. Marked right at the 43-yard line. Riggs. And Riggs will be close to a first down.
Riggs. I'll tell you what, San Francisco with a patched-up defensive line. 2 of their 3 starters from a year ago are not here tonight. And still, they're playing this Atlanta run very well, Howard.
Well, they missed Board. But as Bill Walsh says, every team gets injuries. We can't make excuses.
And Miller made the last tackle.
Once again, we'll have a measurement. Ben Dright signaling the yard markers in. Tell you, Gerald Riggs, when as a #1 draft pick, he was not all that impressive in numbers at Arizona State a year ago. But the impressive thing was that he averaged 6 yards and led the Pac-10 average per carry. There he is. We've already talked about him. He's 6'1", 230-pound running back.
And Giff, when you put William Andrews in front of him blocking for him, you've got probably as fine a blocking fullback as there is in the league. And Andrews, it's double trouble.
That's what he was at Auburn, Andrews, a blocking back.
Or Joe Cribbs and James Brooks.
Less than a yard. You saw how much. Third down. Andrews, and he rips the midfield. First down. 11:25, and the clock is moving, remaining here in the first half, and we still have no score. That is surprising. The 49ers were at the 8-yard line of Atlanta earlier in the first quarter, and they went on a 4th down with a quarterback sneak, and Atlanta held. And Bartkowski has not tried to go deep, as he loves to do, preferably to Jenkins.
There he goes.
No sooner said.
Jackson.
That's Jackson. And Jackson comes down at the 10-yard line in a foot race with Ronnie Lott, which Jackson won.
Alfred big play Jackson. And he makes a lot of big plays. He's one-on-one here with Ronnie Lott. He tried to bump him a little bit. They're running stride for stride. Bartkowski throws a perfect ball.
Absolutely perfect. And Ronnie Lott again let the man get deep on him.
But Lott was hampered. Did you see him running with the slight trace of a limp, Frank?
He does have a very sore muscle that's been troubling him through much of the year. The ball marked right at the 10-yard line. First down and 10. Atlanta is sprinting. Two wide receivers, Jackson and Jenkins. Top of your screen, that's Jackson in motion. Bartkowski throws it in the corner. And a very heady throw by Bartkowski. All his receivers were covered. He gave an opportunity to Jackson, but he was well covered also. It'll be second down and 10.
But he sure had time, Frank.
He
Good
did,
Lord.
and he was trying to get Miller going across the left side of the field. It was a misdirection play. Miller was covered well. Jackson was open early, but that wasn't his first target. Good play on the 10-yard line. Hard to run the ball in from the 10-yard line in. No chance for a first down before you score. They went to the pass. Good call. But now he must go to the pass here or some quick trap up the middle. I would imagine pass.
Second down, goal to go. Now Riggs is split to the right. The two wide receivers, Jenkins and Jackson, top of your screen once again. Andrews, look out. Inside the 5 to the 4-yard line, where it'll be third down, goal to go.
He is a bull. No question about it. Slanted left and powered in.
I think he's the best short yardage runner in football. This guy turns those shoulders up the field, and he is hard to tackle. Only weighs about 205.
But it is compact. It's 6 feet tall, and it just as soon run over you as run around you.
Not the best position in the world for Bartkowski. He's not a rollout type quarterback, but yet they need to play pass action and throw a ball here to score.
Third down goal. The ball at the 4-yard line. Again, good coverage over the corner as his receiver, Junior Miller, had trouble getting off the line of scrimmage. And out comes the field goal unit.
And Alfred Jackson also had trouble, actually fell down.
But see, Bart wasn't pressured there, but because he doesn't have any confidence in his ability to move around, he threw the ball away to preserve the field position for the field goal. But a Montana in that position would have bought more time, had a better chance to get the ball in the end zone for a touchdown.
And here's Mick Luckhurst, 7 of 11 this year. Morawski will hold it down. And first score of the ball game with 9:10 remaining in the first half. Luckhurst hits. So it's 3-0. Atlanta over the San Francisco 49ers. We'll be back in a moment. The Goodyear blimp Columbia hovering overhead with Captain Quirky Ballinger up there. Our cameraman, the rookie from Hawaii. But this will be Amos Lawrence. And Lawrence down the sideline finds an opening and gets out close to the 35-yard line. And the 49er fans come alive. And we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves. 34-yard line. Good return, Amos Lawrence.
That's the way they expected him to play when they got him. Originally, he had been a 4th-round draft choice. And Walsh has been frankly disgusted with him because he hasn't been putting out, in Bill's opinion. But tonight he's showing well.
Jeff Moore back in the backfield for the 49ers. Here comes Williams. And Montana heard the footsteps and unloaded. Buddy Curry blitzing from the right side of Atlanta's defense.
When have you seen Joe Montana with but 12 yards collected passing, and we've got 8:54 left in the second quarter? A tribute to what Atlanta's doing on defense.
Hey, Atlanta really found themselves last week. Howard and Fran, I know Fran, I think you watched the game.
Yeah,
they just destroyed New Orleans. 7 sacks, 3 interceptions, and they really needed that. They needed to know that Joel Williams was back, and indeed he is. Russ Francis now, the tight end, split top of your screen. There's a wide receiver, second down and 10. That's Dwight Clark in motion. And coming down with the football is Dwight Clark, short of the first down, out over the 40 to the 41.
Lehman Bennett is right in his concept of how to play San Francisco. Note that graphic right there. His concept is give them the short yardage, those short passes. But sooner or later, they'll make a mistake and make them pay every time they do it. Don't let them break the big play on you. And that's his whole concept when playing the Niners.
7 yards for Montana and Clark. It's 3rd down and 3. The ball at the 41-yard line. Midway through the second quarter. Montana wide open was Wilson, and he does not hold on. So it'll be 4th down once again.
Throw threw it perfectly. Error on the receiver, Mike Wilson. But it goes as an incompletion for Montana. Here's Mike Wilson running against Bobby Butler. Shakes him, goes down the field against the safety man, and just bobbles.
Typical 49er pattern, too. They just ease down about 5 or 6 yards, look for the hole. They move their tight end around. They move their backs around. Very cerebral offensive football team. Billy Johnson at the 20-yard line of Atlanta. Jim Miller to punt. Gets a good kick. Drives Billy Johnson deep. And it settles in about close to the 12-yard line.
If he kind of fooled Billy Whiteshoes that time. He'd been kicking left into the sideline. Whiteshoes was playing him over that side, and he crossed him up and kicked to the opposite side of the field. And Billy Johnson didn't catch it, and will be back in just a moment.
Hard effort by Jim Miller of the 49ers. The ball dead at the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 for Atlanta. They lead 3-0. 7:56 remains in the first half. Comes Gerald Riggs. And Riggs has to look back inside and held for about a yard pickup. Quiz time. Which two teams finished below 500 the season after playing in the Super Bowl?
Well, you know, immediately one was the former Oakland Raiders.
Right.
It was 7-9 last year. Now you, Giff, take the other.
I don't know.
Well, think about that a while.
Gain of about a yard.
How about the Baltimore Colts?
2nd and 9.
It'll be 2nd down and 9. We'll give that some thought. And you can give it a little thought at home. Andrews, single setback. Bartkowski gets the blitz, jumps it to Andrews. Oh, that's what we talked about. He will lower that head and just bull forward. Ran right into Dwight Hicks. Gets the 1st down. It'll be close to the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 Atlanta. Big card out there. I really don't know. Green Bay, 68.
That was Phil Bankston's first season as head coach after Vince Lombardi retired. 1968.
1st down and 10. The ball out over the 25-yard line. Atlanta with a 3-0 lead. Riggs. Yeah, major collision at the 30-yard line. Pickup of about 4. That's where his progress will be marked. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Well, this is a clinic in defensive football. Every defensive coach is watching this game all over the country. Got to love the way both teams hit on defense. 49ers do, and so do the Falcons. It's some contest.
Wild compared to the game the 49ers played a week ago last Saturday. It was your turn, my turn.
Everybody scored.
We have 3 points on the scoreboard. Nick Luckhurst with a 22-yard field goal has Atlanta on top. 2nd and 6. Junior Miller in motion. Bartkowski back.
Oh, my goodness.
Picked off. Right into the hands of Bob Horn. And Horn takes it back to the 15-yard line. And Bartkowski looked like he changed his mind right in the middle of throwing the football, and he drilled Horn right on the numbers.
I think you're right. You're right.
Did you see Horn anticipating that, moving in on it?
I don't see how you could anticipate that. He just stood up for grabs.
Well,
I think Frank is right.
He overthrew his receiver, and Horn somehow or other just sensed it.
Well, he just stood right to Horn. He hit him between the 5 and the 5. Just a major error by Bart. I know he didn't want to do it. Like to have it back. But it puts the 49ers in good position.
They've been here before. They have a 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. They win on a 4th down on a quarterback sneak. On a 4th and a foot at the 8-yard line, they were held. This time, this Amos Lawrence trying the left side. It's about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Walsh has obviously been encouraged by Lawrence's kickoff returns tonight, and that's why he's got him in there.
You're absolutely right. You mentioned he was in Bill Walsh's doghouse. Famous Amos Lawrence came out of North Carolina as an All-American. San Diego drafted him. He wouldn't sign with them. They finally traded for him up here, and he just hasn't turned out to be the player they wanted him to be. But I think he has the ability.
They mark it at the 13, so it'll be second down and 8. Lawrence in the ring of the setbacks. Play action by Montana. Looking for Clark. He's covered. Checks it off and gets the ball to Amos Lawrence. And Lawrence, struggling, held short of the first down.
But that's exactly the point Fran made earlier, Giff. That's what Montana can do for you that Bartkowski can't. He bought time, and finally he dumped it off when he could see Lawrence.
He just bought time. He couldn't find. Clark was doubled. There's Johnson on the outside. There's somebody on the inside.
Tom Pridemore was in front of him, and Johnson was behind him.
But you cannot give Joey Montana that kind of time. He won't give up on you. He'll buy time. He'll wait. He's patient. And he'll finally find somebody open, which he did.
Third down 2, 4:15, and the clock is moving, remaining in the first half. Atlanta on top, 3-0. One could say a must game for the 49ers. Montana, he does this so well.
There he goes.
Dwight Clark, touchdown. But Montana rolls to the right. He can read the entire field like no quarterback, I think, in the game today.
The whole flow went right. Montana threw left to Clark. Doug Williams did that to Buffalo this afternoon at Tampa. Same thing when he hit Melvin Carver for a touchdown.
Well, it was good protection. He rolls right, but he has a good vision of the field. He also had Freddie Solomon wide open over here on the same side that Clark caught the ball. You'll see Solomon right in front of him there in a minute. There he is, standing wide open.
5 extra points have been missed this weekend, so this is no sense. Worshing, who missed one last week, gets it to the uprights, and the 49ers move out on top. Key play, the interception. Bartkowski hitting Bob Horn, who took it back to the 15-yard line to set up the 49er go-ahead touchdown. And Dwight Clark gets the 49ers on the scoreboard. Let's watch him again. Now, he's on the far side of the field. Montana's rolling his way.
He's lining up at the tight end. He's just going all the way across, just picking his way across. It takes a lot of time to get that kind of pass off.
Dwight Clark never quits on Montana, and Montana so many times has rolled right and found the big man, number 87, Dwight Clark. Set up by the interception by Bob Horn. Set to kick off, Worshing. Lloyd Hodge has dropped for the Atlanta Falcons. Worshing will kick the ball high, not necessarily too deep. Well, now he kicks it low and fairly deep. From the 2-yard line. Hodge saw a little bit of a gap, got through the gap, and then a violent collision just inside the 25-yard line. And out comes Bartkowski. Fran, you know him. Would he be rattled over something like that?
He's a very conscientious guy. He's a quiet guy. Something like that would rattle him more than most. He wants to do so well for that football team, and it'll be interesting to see how he reacts coming out now.
First and 10, 24-yard line. 3:52 remaining in the first half. 49ers now on top, 7-3. Bartkowski, whoa, Andrews, and look at him bounce off.
Oh, my goodness.
Andrews with an open field. And he just refuses to go down until he gets to the 31-yard line. Eric Wright looked like Jim Shoulders, the rodeo cowboy, on his back.
I'll tell you
About as good an evidence of power running as you will ever see in any game.
This is
kid,
unreal.
Watch this. Ronnie Lott, who's a great hitter. I mean, you're not going to get somebody who's not a great hit again by Williamson. Bounces off both of them, and down the field he goes.
Look at that leg power.
Oh, unbelievable.
He should have been stopped for a loss, and he gets all the way down inside the 33-yard line. Bo Robinson comes in, number 33. He'll give Andrews a rest. He's in there with Riggs, the rookie from Arizona State. Riggs, left side. Riggs cutting back and inside the 25-yard line. Good pickup of about 8.
Yes, very often when you get a superhuman effort like that by one of your backs or one of your players, it picks up the entire team. Watch it again. You're going to see Ronnie Lott hit him square on right here. He bounces off.
You know,
it's over 4 or 5 more.
You know, the other
Keeps going.
teammates of Ronnie Lott thought that Andrews was going down. They
Sure.
just let up, and he broke back inside of them.
Seen him do it twice in 2 weeks now. It's unbelievable.
Second down, about 2. Ball at the 24-yard line. Bartkowski, Jenkins. Picks the ball back up. And he'll have the first down. Right in front of Eric Wright, the cornerback, who's playing well off Jenkins.
Interesting to watch Bartkowski now, though, with those quick hitters.
But I'll tell you, the 49ers pass defense is still excellent. They gave him 2 yards. He got enough for the first down, but he didn't give him much. I'm very impressed with the 49ers pass defense and run defense.
2-minute warning. Both benches being notified. The first down is inside the 20-yard line. The Atlanta Falcons trailing 7-3 on the drive once again. And we'll be back at Candlestick Park with more hard-hitting action in just a moment. Frank Gifford, Howard Cosell, Fran Tarkenton. First down 10. The Atlanta Falcons just inside the 20-yard line of the 49ers. An explosive effort by William Andrews, who's back in the lineup after he's now collected his breath. He's in there with Gerald Riggs. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Looking for the screen. They get it to Andrews. And Andrews runs into traffic. It's about 3 yards, close to the 15-yard line. It'll be second down and 7. Bob Horn defensively there for the 49ers.
And these guys are playing hard. Jim Stuckey, defensive end, came back from rushing the passer, made the play 3 or 4 yards down the field.
Both teams, 3 timeouts. 1:35 remaining in the half, and the clock is moving.
You watch Andrews. He has the most tremendous leg power. Unbelievable.
Bartkowski looking in the end zone for Jenkins and batted away. Fine defensive effort by Eric Wright.
They're really frustrating Bart, Jeff, because they're not giving his outside receivers in. They're double covering, as you see right there. Eric Wright and Ronnie Lott both on Jenkins. There really is no room there. If he throws it out in front of him, he's out of the end zone.
Third down and 7. Eric Wright, fine defensive play.
Bart's going to have to come off to his backs or to his tight end because they're doubling the outside guys. The 49ers doing a good job defensively, taking away what Atlanta does best. Those are their outside guys.
49ers change up. They bring in their 5th defensive back. They bring in Fred Dean, their best pass rusher.
Well, there's confusion. Here's timeout.
And timeout has been called by Atlanta. And they have 2 remaining. 1:15 remains in the half. It's third down and 7. We'll be back after this from the National Football League. National Football League and Mary Huff's husband, Sam, my old teammate. 1:15 remaining in the half. Third down and 7. The ball just inside the 16-yard line. Atlanta with 2 timeouts. Atlanta trailing 7-3. Riggs, that's trouble. Riggs down the sideline. He has the first down, and he kills the clock inside the 1. 1:07 remaining in the half.
I think just by watching, you can see how furiously played this game is.
But this is a good play. They're doubling the outside receivers. They fake the trap up the middle, throw to the running back, Riggs. He's got a blocker out in front of him. He blocks Lott. That was Warren Bryant who made the block, and Riggs goes down to the 2-yard line. Good play, good call by Lehman Bennett from the sideline.
They've marked it at the 2. It's first down, goal to go. 2 timeouts for Atlanta. 1:07 remaining in the half.
I don't know about you guys, but I think I'd give it to Andrews how many ever times he needs it. Although Riggs is a great short yardage runner too, and they could use Andrews to block. Either one of them.
The baby bull backfield. Andrews and Riggs. Andrews, he stopped short.
The baby bull backfield. You've gone back to that, huh? Steve Thurlow and Tucker Fredrickson and Chuck Mercine. I remember them well, Frank.
I didn't remember them. They look like baby bulls down there. They run like it.
Yep. So far this year, the 49ers and the Falcons on defense have been the toughest against the run on the goal line of anybody in football. 49ers are tough down here.
Second and goal. Riggs. No. He is stopped short. And now we'll get a timeout from Atlanta. Timeout stops the clock with 29 seconds.
What a
And
football
Bartkowski
game.
will go over to Lehman Bennett.
This is as furiously and hard-hitting played and hard-hitting a game as I've seen in a long time.
Best one I have seen all year, and you've got to give the 49ers credit down here when they're going against those two big bulls in the backfield, and they've held them twice from the two.
I remind you, as Bartkowski talks it over on the sidelines, coming up at halftime, we'll have highlights from the AFC competition over the weekend. Raiders, we've told you, they have cinched a spot in the playoffs. Cincinnati, by the way, can cinch a spot tomorrow night if they can beat San Diego in a game we'll bring you from San Diego.
That's what we were just talking about, those defenses on 3rd and 1.
That's right. Cincinnati, 40%. San Francisco and Atlanta, 46 and 50.
Frank will have AFC highlights tonight, NFC highlights tomorrow night.
And that shows our flexibility.
Okay, guys, what are you going to do here? Are you going to run it a third time, or do you fake it and try to throw a little pass?
Andrews.
I think run it. And
Third down.
And if you miss it on 3rd down, I think run it again.
Inside the 1. 29 seconds. 1 timeout remains for Atlanta.
Oh, this is fun here. This is fun. Whoa!
Good leg. It'll be easy for Bartkowski. Fine call. Shades of white.
Tilt computer. There's nothing in their computer that said that Bartkowski bootlegs on the goal line.
He really lumbers, though, doesn't he?
Was that a called play, Fran?
Absolutely. I think I do think they called it.
Sometimes they don't tell the backs.
Look at this. You see Fran Dean coming in. He's the only guy that had any chance at all, but who would have ever thought that Bartkowski would have bootlegged it out? Very good call again by Lehman Bennett.
24 seconds remaining in the half, and Atlanta's moved back out on top. They led 3-0. 22-yard field goal by Luckhurst. Then Horn came up with the interception. Montana went to Clark, and now Atlanta has answered back. Good, hard-hitting football game. Lots of action for you. And a very heady call on the part of the Atlanta Falcons. Bartkowski bootlegging it in.
And he feels a lot better. You see a little smile on Bart's face.
Well, look, he's run for a gain twice this season.
But after throwing that interception, Howard, you need something good to happen to you, and Bart's got it. Now he got him down the
What was good
field.
that happened to him was that quick pitch to Andrews and that brilliant run that set them up.
No question, Andrews is the one that got him that touchdown.
Falcons back on top. They've won 3 of 4 since the strike was ended. They beat New Orleans 35-0. New Orleans, by the way, beat San Francisco earlier. They've also beaten Denver, the Rams, and the Giants, while they've lost earlier to the Raiders. Luckhurst will kick off, and deep is Dana McLemore, the rookie from Hawaii, and Amos Lawrence. 49ers have 3 timeouts, and they have 24 seconds on the halftime clock. Lawrence on your right, number 20. Bartkowski, a lot of smiles because, let's face it, he tried to change his mind in the middle of a pass earlier, hit Bob Horn. That led to the 49ers touchdown.
He says a load is off my mind. The monkey's off my back.
Luckhurst. It will be Amos Lawrence. And Lawrence hit hard at the 25-yard line.
Frank, they are hitting every play.
For men only, they say.
Good, solid football.
19 seconds left.
Bill Ring stays in, number 30, along with Lawrence, number 20.
When they talk about the
Now
offenses
Lawrence
have taken over football, excuse me, Frank, the offense taking over football, look at this game tonight. These are 2 good offensive football teams, but defense is dominating.
3 receivers, including Russ Francis, split far to the left. Could mean Montana's going to try and hang it high, maybe draw the foul. He comes back with the screen to Dwight Clark. And Dwight Clark is hammered at the 35, out to the 36 for a first down. 7 seconds now on the clock. And Montana stops it with a timeout with 7 seconds remaining in the half. So Montana now will visit with Bill Walsh. The strategy is being played out. Meanwhile, the defensive unit, they move over and they'll have it chance to talk with Lehman Bennett.
If they're really not quite far enough up the field to do Big Ben.
7 seconds. Puts the 3 men again out to the left. Mike Wilson is there, along with Russ Francis. This time he could hang it up looking for the foul. The flag is down.
He's hanging it up.
Russ Francis tries to get under it. Kenny Johnson has the football, but again, a flag is down at the line of scrimmage. And the half or game will not end on a defensive foul, as that should be the case. And that is the case for the 49ers. We'll have another opportunity, it would appear.
Defense 58 line up in the neutral zone. One more play.
So we will have one more play. And I would suspect we will see something very similar to what we just saw.
Jeff, I think you will. And the theory of this play is that when you throw the ball down the field, 3 receivers running down, you want one receiver to go up for the ball and tip it, and the other 2 stay on the ground and try to get the rebound.
Or draw the defensive foul and be in position to add a field goal with the one play. That's what we're looking at. Ahead of us, Buffalo against Miami coming up on the 27th, and then we'll close out with Dallas at Minnesota. The way it's shaping up, they could all be very meaningful.
Tell you, that Vikings team that you have left behind long since is a tough team.
They are a good team, and they've been playing good offense the last few years, but this year their defense is playing better than it has probably since the old Purple Gang dominated.
The next 2
in the early
games
70s.
are against the Jets and Dallas.
They got their work cut out for them, but they had a big game today against Detroit in the Dome, which Detroit wins a lot of those games, but not today.
Could be the last play of the half.
Going the other way,
Getting it up high. Clark is over there. And incomplete, and that should expire the first half, and indeed it does. So at halftime, I'd like to remind you that we'll be bringing you the AFC highlights that have taken place over this weekend, so stay with us and enjoy.
To go on their own 31. Paul McDonald back to pass. Suddenly, surrounded by 3 Steelers, loses the football. Donnie Shell, 31, recovers it. The Steel is now ready to strike. 3rd down and goal to go on the 6 of the opponent. Bradshaw had a terrible day. 2nd week in a row, 12 out of 39. Finally hit Stallworth, touchdown. The Steelers led it 7-3. Looking on from the sidelines, the man who through the years has carried Cleveland so effectively, Brian Sipe. Had he started, it would have been his 72nd consecutive game. But no, it was McDonald's day, because in the 3rd quarter, watch Donnie Shell stumble. Number 31, Ozzie Newsome, went out on the 1-yard line. Johnny Davis, the ex-Tampa Bay Buck, caught in for the touchdown, and Cleveland had it. They finally won it 10-9. Then, in Philadelphia, at Veterans Stadium, the Eagles having a breeze with the Houston Oilers. First quarter, 0-0. Houston on their own 13. Manning threw, but Blackmore picked it off. Number 27, dodged 2 tacklers, went in for the score. That made it 7-0 Eagles. In the 2nd quarter, 14-0 Eagles. Jaworski throwing deep. The rookie wide receiver, Mike Quick, number 82. Good leaping catch, touchdown, 21-0. A pitch out to Wilbert Montgomery, cutting right, away from 2 tacklers, going downfield, all alone. The man from Abilene Christian, 90 yards from scrimmage, the longest since the Juice ran 94 in 72. And so, Philadelphia poured it on. It finally moved to 35-14 Eagles with this screwy play. Casper lateraling it back to Manning. Manning running for his life. And Manning finally underhanding the ball to Mike Renfro. Watch this. They used to play this one at Erasmus Hall High School in Brooklyn. What a joke. All to no avail. Eagles 35-14. Against the Seahawks in the Kingdome in Seattle. 3-0 New England, 2nd quarter. 53 seconds left in the half. Steve Grogan passing downfield to Morris Bradshaw. Pulls it in. Goes all the way down to the 3-yard line. And then, 3 plays later, 3rd and goal from the 5. Steve Grogan again to another X-Raider, Mark Van Egan. Touchdown, 10-0 New England at the half. It became 13-0 4th quarter. Zorn looking downfield, trying to strike. Leaping interception by 40, Mike Haynes. New England, 16-0 final. Then, at Mile High Stadium in Denver, the Chiefs against the Bronx. But a day to honor the now retired Craig Morton, age 39, with his 3-year-old son, Mike. And Steve DeBerg on the first play of the game, breaking quarterback Bert Jones' record of 17 consecutive completions with one to Dave Preston. Kansas City led 3-0 second quarter. 3rd down and 7. DeBerg back to pass. But the ball picked up by number 44, Eric Harris, going down the right sideline. Now watch him cut in beautifully, and that enables him to go in for the score. So Kansas City led 10-0. Then Jeff Gossett, Kansas City. The score 10-6 KC, 4th and 15. And he punts to Rick Upchurch. Here's the remarkable veteran doing his trademark thing. 4th-round draft choice, once from Minnesota. Upchurch breaks it all the way. Touchdown, 13-10 Denver, and he tied a record for most punt returns for TDs at 8. Then Bill Kenny striking, hitting Al Dixon. Touchdown, 17-13 Kansas City. They went on to build a 23-16 lead. And then a red-hot Kenny found a fellow wearing 88 named Carlos Carson, 33 yards. Touchdown, Chiefs won it 37-16. Then, terrific game. Tampa Stadium, Bills against the Bucks. Second quarter action. Bills leading 6-0. Bucks have the ball on the 2-yard line of the Bills. The flow goes right. But Williams looking to throw left. And he hits the rookie, Melvin Gordon. Touchdown, Tampa Bay led 7-6. In the 3rd quarter, Tampa Bay was leading 10-9. They have the ball on their own 34, 2nd and 7. He attempts to pass, Williams does, but the ball is intercepted by Bill Simpson. And now, the Bills ready to go on the offense again. The handoff to Roosevelt leaks. Touchdown, and it was 16-10 Buffalo. Tampa Bay has the ball on the Bills' 2-yard line. 2nd and goal. This time the throw is to the ex-Pittsburgh Panther, Gordon Jones. 17-16 Tampa Bay. It was that kind of game. It became 24-16 Tampa Bay. Buffalo with the ball at the Tampa Bay 10. Joe Ferguson, number 12, scrambling. Watch him go in for the score. 24-23 Tampa Bay. Then with less than a minute to go, Buffalo, 1st and 10 on the Bucks 19. The handoff to Leaks, the fumble, and he had been hit by Leroy Selman, picked up by Cedric Brown. The fumble was. Tampa Bay held on to win 24-23. In between the Jets and the Dolphins. We pick up with first quarter action. The score 0-0, and Richard Todd throwing to Wesley Walker. Touchdown, 6-0 Jets, because here, incredibly, Pat Leahy missed an extra point, and that would ultimately cost the Jets the game. In the 3rd quarter, it was 13-10 Jets. David Woodley throwing deep downfield, left corner. Duriel Harris out-leaping Jerry Holmes. And so it was 17-13 Miami. 4th quarter, 17-16. Pat Leahy then connecting on a long field goal, 49 yards, and it was 19-17 Jets. Then with but seconds left, that kick by Uwe von Schamann. And so Miami had wrested victory from...
Get things underway, but let's go back where the score was 3-0 Atlanta. Luckhurst had hit a 22-yard field goal. Montana rolls out, looks across the field, Fran. Dwight Clark is there.
And guess who? Dwight Clark again. I think he kind of likes Dwight Clark and looks for him. All right, here's Bartkowski. This is a tremendous effort by William Andrews. He's going to take a swing pass from Bartkowski, run right over Ronnie Lott. And you know what kind of tackler Ronnie Lott is, a great tackler. He's going to shed Williamson. He's going to shed, and then he's going to pull Eric Wright along with him for about another 30 yards. This really set up the Atlanta touchdown. Tremendous effort by William Andrews. We've seen him do it twice in 2 weeks. Last week against Steve Wilson of the Denver Broncos.
There he carries Eric Wright. That set up a touchdown. The 49ers were very stiff down around their own goal line. Then it was 3rd down, goal to go, 1-yard line. Watch this. Play action.
Bootleg by Bartkowski. Nowhere was that in the computer printout on what the Atlanta Falcons do offensively. no way to defend against that. They were stopping the inside run. It was third and about 2 or 3 inches. Well-executed play. Good call by Lehman Bennett from the sideline.
And Atlanta went into the locker room with a 10-7 lead. Once again, we'll take a look at the statistics of the first quarter. Watch how they varied through the second quarter. This is first quarter stats.
Virtual standoff, as you can see. 68-40 total yards. And the teams were locked at 0-0. But in the second quarter, you can see Atlanta assuming definite command. The Niners only 3 first downs. Montana's passing game totally choked off.
Couple of big plays by Atlanta. You saw the one a moment ago of William Andrews. There was also a strike coming from Bartkowski to Jackson. We're set to go. The importance of this game once again. The Super Bowl champions, led by this man, Joe Montana, are 2-4 of the season. They've lost their first 2 games to the Raiders and then Denver. Then after the strike, they came back. They beat St. Louis, and they beat the Rams, and then they lost to New Orleans. And a week ago yesterday, they lost in a real shootout to San Diego. Imperative tonight's game, well, you'd have to say it would be. For the 49ers, they'll close out the season at Kansas City, which is playing good football again. And then they'll be back here for their January 2 game against the Rams.
And if you look here tonight, Candlestick Park, known for the wind tunnel that it is, there's really no wind tonight. It's a little chill in the air, but a nice football night. And you kind of think that, can these defenses hold the offenses for another half like they have the first half? I don't think they can. I expect both offenses to be a little more successful during the second half.
Niners, if they're going to win, are going to have to stop Atlanta's running game.
Wersching kicks it high. It'll be short, and Hodge is there, but is picked off and taken there by Blaine Geisen. And Geisen gets back close to the 25-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 Atlanta. They anticipate Bartkowski, Andrews, and a whole lot of rookie Gerald Riggs. But right now, we open it with our setbacks. Lynn Kane, number 21. Andrews, 31. The wide receivers, Dinkins, 84. Jackson, 85. The tight end is Junior Miller. Second half underway. 10-7, Atlanta over San Francisco. Andrews, not at the line of scrimmage, squeezes out perhaps 3 yards. Call it second down and 7. That's another stat about Andrews that we don't talk much about. He doesn't fumble the ball much.
Well, all the good things you're saying about William Andrews, I asked the question, is there a better running back in the National Football League than William Andrews? If there is, speak up.
In 3 years and 7 games, over 4,000 yards. He went over that mark tonight. Second and 7. Bartkowski, Kane. Kane takes a couple of tackles, and he gets a first down. Out over the 38-yard line.
Lott finally got him down, but not before Lynn had bounced off 2 others.
He bounces off Keena Turner for one. Ed Judy for another. Here it is. Bartkowski now doing something he really doesn't like to do, but the 49ers are forced to do. Threw it to Lynn Kane short. Hacksaw Reynolds misses him. Keena Turner bounces off. Judy bounces off, and Lott finally gets him down.
Let me quickly note, because the 3 of us feel deeply about this, Hacksaw Reynolds is playing with a great deal of heartache tonight. Within the past week, Mr. and Mrs. Earl Reynolds in Cincinnati lost their son, Bill. He, of course, Hacksaw's brother. And our deepest sympathy goes from all of us at ABC Sports to the Reynolds family.
Atlanta with the first down and 10, their 38-yard line. That's Kane adjusting to the wide receiver position. This is Andrews, finds an opening on the right side and turns those big legs up and down. It gets to the 45 for a gain of about 7. It'll be second down and 3. Well, he had a lot of injuries down there at Auburn, and Howard touched it already. There were Joe Cribbs and James Brooks to consider.
And he blocked for him. But that's an amazing thing. 15th running back picked in the draft.
Got him in the 3rd round. And they got a pearl. Second and 3. Andrews. And Andrews close to a first down, and he did it on his own once again.
He just churns his way, doesn't he? And that's what the Niners have got to stop if they're to get control of this football game.
Well, he's got his shoulders
Falcons
squared
running
up.
game.
His shoulders are squared up down the field. He runs very low. He's got huge thighs. He's got tremendous determination. He's some kind of player.
Howard touched on earlier the defensive unit of the 49ers struggling not only with injuries, but things that Bill Walsh, their coach, can't quite figure out. They, of course, miss Ford a great deal. They're missing Willie Harper, who's not in action tonight. And they have their hands full with the Atlanta Falcons. First and 10, 49-yard line. Andrews once again. Andrews refuses to go down until he comes close to another first down. Finally, Dwight Hicks wrestles him to the turf.
Now, Howard, you notice the difference in strategy from the Falcons this year from last year. As you watch William Andrews again, they're going more to a ball control game. They're not depending on the long pass down the field, which is a low percentage play. This also helps their defense. They love to see the offense keep the ball like this.
All of this is true. And every first down play in this drive, it's been Andrews setting them up. And on this last run, they may have achieved a first down. Yes, they did.
And Andrews now is ripping off the big gainers. In the first half, he was collecting the 3s and the 4s, real tough yardage. But now he has ripped off a couple of big gainers here in the opening moments of the first half.
What's nice to see is that the San Francisco fans are not blaming Coach Walsh. He was a genius by acclamation a year ago. He's the same coach now.
First down, just short of the 41-yard line of the 49ers. Play action by Bartkowski. Tries to go to Andrews out of the backfield, incomplete. It'll be second and 10.
Bart's having a hard time finding receivers. He had a nice play pass action, no pressure. He had Junior Miller wide open on a drag out. And then he threw to Andrews and didn't throw it as well as he'd like to.
But they're succeeding running Andrews, as I just noted, on first down in every series.
But it was all right to change up and fake the run into the line and have the play pass, but he just didn't execute it very well. Of course, Lehman Bennett calls the plays from the sideline. It's not Bart's call.
I understand.
Second and 10. Kane split to the left. Andrews, the single setback. Bartkowski can't find a receiver, and he'll go down at midfield. Second sack of the night for the 49ers, who came into this game with only 8 in the previous 6 games.
The 49er coverage is confusing Bartkowski. When you see him start patting his feet and dancing with his feet, you know that he is in trouble. He's not sure of himself.
It took a time, but Hardy finally got to him.
Third down and just about 20. 49ers shuffle in their prevent personnel. Reynolds comes out. Judy comes out. They bring in Lynn Thomas as one deep back. Bartkowski. No way. Picks off Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott, his first interception of the season. And he brings it back to the 45-yard line for Bartkowski, his second interception.
I don't think you're going to see Lehman go to the pass in a hurry.
Well, Lehman called the pass, but Jenkins has no way. He's double covered. Lott's in front of him. He's got a man behind him.
One should never been thrown because a man in front, a man behind.
And Alfred Jenkins trying to strip the ball from Ronnie Lott, but couldn't quite do it. Good play by Ronnie.
And the 49ers trailing by 3. Good field position. Their own 45-yard line will be back with the action. 4 minutes on their drive when Bartkowski threw the ball to Ronnie Lott and the 49ers get the turnover. They have a first and 10 at their 45-yard line. Montana gets out of trouble. Looks for Clark. Finds Dwight Clark inside the 40-yard line. First down, San Francisco. And Montana doing his thing.
I mean to tell you he's doing his thing. He ran a bootleg action. He had pressure. He stepped away from the pressure, kept his poise. Many people can get away from the pass rush, but don't keep their poise to throw it down the field. There's Clark, who's always open, finds an open spot, slides around. Montana finds him.
And Clark complained vigorously about the hit inflicted upon him to no avail.
39-yard line. First down, San Francisco. They trail by 3. We're in the third quarter. This is Bill Ring, and he is hammered. Gets maybe a yard.
Captain Crazy. Captain
Boy,
Crazy.
Kuykendall. What a game he is playing. That's the difference in defense this year from last year. Speaks for itself.
But last year, they're averaging twice as many sacks per game as they were this year. If you're not getting sacks, you're not getting pressure on the passer. If you're not getting pressure on the passer, you are not going to be able to get interceptions.
Of course, that was 16 regular season.
No, that was a per-game average I was relating. Twice as many last year in the per-game averages this year.
Ring got a couple. It's second down and 8. Clark has 5 receptions now. Montana, he does not have a receiver. They were all on the left side of the field, and he takes it out of bounds.
What a slick customer.
He's great. But
gotta admire him.
It was a mistake by the receivers. Giff made a good point. He was running to his right. All his receivers were on the left. When they see him running, they got to run toward him. And that they didn't do that time.
Once again, Montana has a third and long situation as the Atlanta defense has stiffened. Third down and 9. Ronaldo Nehemiah stays in the game. Now split to the left, number 83. Russ Francis is in there, 81, bottom of your screen. Looking for the screen, and in and out of the hands of Amos Lawrence, incomplete. A lot of pressure on Montana. It'll be fourth down and well outside of field goal range for Wershing, and out comes the punting unit.
You see who was over there, Francis? Kuykendall.
That's right. Well, it looks like one of the offense or the other is going to take control of the game. Atlanta moved for a few first downs. San Francisco back, but that both defenses are making big plays when they have to and not letting them get too close.
It's a throwback to the old days of pro football. Low scoring, hard hitting. Defense playing the predominant role. Miller hangs it high, should catch the end zone, and it does. So it will come out to the 20-yard line, and Atlanta has the football back once again. Lehman Bennett, final instructions to Bartkowski, and we'll be back at Candlestick Park in a moment. Rushing and receiving. 49ers running backs. First down and 10. 20-yard line, Atlanta. They were controlling the opening moments of the second half on the ground. Let's see if they return to it. Lynn Kane. And Lynn Kane. Good pickup out over the 25. Gain of about 8. Upset there by Jack Reynolds. It'll be second down and 2.
They continue on the ground to pound out major first down yardage.
During the second half, the start of the third quarter, we've seen the Atlanta offensive line for the first time tonight start to dominate the San Francisco defensive line. However, they've already lost another defensive lineman by injury. Lawrence Pillars is out with a concussion.
Four-man front for the 49ers on second down and 2. Flag fly as Andrews zips through a hole on the right, but again, flags are down.
And they were quick flags, which would indicate offsides or motion.
Offense, left tackle.
A little quick movement by Mike Kent over the left side.
But there again, there was room for Andrews to run on the right side.
Ball start, left tackle.
This looks like the team that had Dallas beaten in the playoffs 2 years ago when Dallas made the remarkable recovery to win the game. And after that, a year-and-a-half sabbatical for the Atlanta team.
They didn't play like that the entirety of last season.
Second down, 7 following the penalty. Andrews to the 25. Gain of a couple. It'll be third down and 5.
Got to gang tackle that man.
Well, you do. And you look at Lehman Bennett's play call, and now, after running so well to start this quarter out, being so unsuccessful with the pass, he's a little scared of the pass now. He's going to the run more often. Third and 5, it's a passing down, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Bennett call another run.
49ers move into their prevent. 3 wide receivers for Atlanta. Floyd Hodge, George Jackson, and Jenkins. Bringing it up. It's Jenkins, and he is tripped up, and they'll call that on the spot.
And that's a good call.
Eric Wright stepping on Jenkins' foot. Down he went.
Good call, Giff. You're absolutely right. I'm sure he didn't mean to do it. Eric Wright didn't mean to do it, but he did. Jenkins has him beat a little bit here. He had no deep help. He had him by himself. He knew it. He's trying to run with him, but Jenkins can fly. And right in there, he tripped him up. Inadvertently, but it was a trip.
And the first down is at the 49-yard line.
That's the break. Yep. The Falcons needed.
The 49ers' first penalty of the night. A 23-yard one. That gives Atlanta the first down at their own 49-yard line. We have 7:53 remaining in the third quarter. Atlanta remains on top 10-7.
And Howard, Atlanta still hasn't solved the 49er pass defense. And more specifically, Bartkowski hasn't solved it.
Going deep, and just off the fingertips, the outstretched fingertips of racing Stacey Bailey, the rookie speedster from San Jose State.
Quick kid. In that preseason game, he showed us a lot.
Now, on that play, he had two options. Either to throw the deep ball as he did. He also had a screen, a one-man screen to Andrews out to the right. The one-man screen was wide open, as is always the case when he threw the ball down the field to try to get the big hit.
7:47 remaining in the third quarter. Second down and 10. Kane split to the right, out to the left. Jenkins and Jackson. Andrews, right side. Breaks it back against the grain. Flag is down as Andrews gets about 4.
And that should be a holding penalty.
'49ers 2 and 4 desperately need tonight's game. And it'll be marked off against the Atlanta Falcons. And while they mark it off, we want to remind you about the Gator Bowl, the Sugar Bowl coming your way. West Virginia. Pat Howell holding for Atlanta. Second down and 20. Prevent defense for the 49ers. The defense that Bartkowski has not been able to unravel. Pulls away from center and stops on it. And then it'll be lost again back to the 31-yard line where it will be third down and about 28.
Atlanta is totally confused with the 49er prevent defense. That time, Bart took a lot of time at the line of scrimmage. He didn't like what he was seeing. He was trying to audible to something else. His thoughts were somewhere else, and he dropped the ball going back.
Well, the basic point is that they had great field position after the penalty call in their favor, the interference call on Eric Wright, and they didn't capitalize.
And they didn't capitalize for the first down. They tried a 50-yard pass.
Jackson goes out to the right. Out to the left is Jenkins, who's going there by Floyd Hobbs. 49ers with 4 men down. Draw play to Andrews. And Andrews with a nice gain, far short of the first down, moving out to the 42. We'll see the punting unit for the Falcons.
Now, some people might question that call. However, I think it was a proper call by Lehman Bennett, a good call. They weren't going to pick up the first down passing. They got some more room, established some field position, which is going to be important, and give the kicker a little room, and he hasn't been all that great kicking tonight.
He is not ripping up the league, George Roberts. And Freddie Solomon, he can. Dangerous return man. Another bad kick by Roberts. This is McLemore. And McLemore gets up close to the 39-yard line. Again, good field position for the 49ers. Now, let's see if they can do something with it. We have 6:12 remaining in the third quarter, and we'll be right back.
And then tries to kick again. Now, you make the call. If Jarella's second kick had been good, would it have been a legal field goal? It's ball, and it is never legal for any player, even a kicker, to purposely kick a loose ball. No field goal.
George Roberts, a 31-yard effort. He's had a pair of 28-yard punts.
And then Atlanta is saying, John James, phone home.
39-yard line, first down, the 49ers. Russ Francis in motion. Montana Nehemiah does not handle the ball.
It was a tough catch to make by Nehemiah, but the timing of the pass by Montano was extraordinary. He's flying down the field. You have to give him some respect, which Butler was. He makes the outbreak. Montano had thrown the ball before he broke out. And he put it on his hands, and he should have caught the ball.
Those are things that he'll learn as a receiver. And, of course, Nehemiah, a hurdler, not a football player. When he made that break to the outside, he should have put it on.
Yep.
Second down and 10. Montana, he'll be sacked at the 33-yard line. First man in there, Joel Williams.
Then Big Don Smith. Joel Williams, the guy responsible for the sack.
I can't remember Montana being stopped this way.
Watch Joe rolling out to the right. Joel Williams does the proper thing. He beats Bill Ring, keeps him inside of him, and then he funnels him back into Big Don Smith, the nose tackle. And he makes the play.
And a third down and 16 now for the 49ers. Not a comfortable position against a defense like Atlanta, the way they've been playing the past few games. White Clark, split to the right. Nehemiah, top of your screen. Blitz again. They pick it up, and Montana goes down with no open receiver.
And it's Big Don Smith again. His second straight sack, and he's playing that nose guard about as well as anybody is in football. Big play.
Tremendous performance by this Atlanta team. If they should hang on to win tonight, they're just about in the playoffs. They'll be 5-2. But Bill Walsh, of course, and his championship team of a year ago, a defeat probably ended for them.
It's interesting that the offense has been carrying the Falcons for the last year and a half, but you win with defense, and the defense has carried them the last couple of weeks and also tonight.
Jim Miller to punt. This will be Billy Johnson from his 35-yard line. Tries to crack the seam and gets to the 45-yard line, does Billy Johnson. And again, Atlanta has good field position. And one of the rare defensive shootouts that we have seen in a long time. 3-point lead, Atlanta. Remains in the third quarter. Atlanta has the football, their 46-yard line.
The yards 270 to 79, but only a 3-point lead for Atlanta. We still have a ball game.
A lot of football remaining. Two hard-hitting teams. Desperate time for the 49ers. They're 2-4. Andrews breaks it back. William Andrews putting on a show tonight. Gets to the 45-yard line, short of the first down. Up into there by Eric Wright. Very carefully, you might add.
One of the best individual performances by a running back we've seen.
But as you see Andrews here, go to the right, nothing there, he comes back to the left. He does this every week, guys. I mean, he plays the same level every week. Watch him finally. He'll always get his shoulders eventually turned upfield, which he did there, close to the first down.
Second, less than a yard. The ball just inside the 45-yard line of the 49ers. Lynn Kane, flag is down. You saw the movement at the line of scrimmage. Kane has the yardage for the first down.
Bartkowski used a stutter count then, Giff, and that stutter count probably got the offsides for him. It did.
And that will be first down Atlanta. An additional yardage as Atlanta will take the penalty.
The last two times Atlanta's been here, they have thrown the ball on first down. I doubt that they'll do it again.
Defense offside, 90.
Mike Clark being caught with the stutter count of Bartkowski. Out to the right goes Jackson. Jenkins to the left. Draw play, Andrews. And he just gallops inside the 33-yard line for another pickup of about 7.
And if you just tuned in, this is the William Andrews Show, featuring number 31.
He is having himself a night. He's doing it the hard way. 94 yards, 19 carries, but they have been big bursts here in the second half.
But the Atlanta defense is still the key. They have totally nullified Montana's mobility. They've been astounding.
Kane is left. Jenkins, Jackson, the two wide receivers, top of your screen. Second down, long 2. Andrews held short of the first down.
That is a very interesting call, Giff. A draw play on second and 2. I haven't seen that very often, but when you got William Andrews, I don't guess it really matters what you call. But he didn't make the first down.
Third down, just a little more than 1. That's the time remaining in the third quarter, and a 3-point lead. Atlanta 10, San Francisco 7.
I would certainly expect Atlanta to run the ball here, because if they don't make the first down on third down, I would expect them to go again on fourth down.
Andrews. This will be dependent upon where they mark it. Moving right behind Thielman and Van Note, the veteran center.
And
First down, Atlanta.
Pretty good serve by the middle of the Atlanta line that time.
And that defense of the Niners has been out there so much of this third quarter. Fatigue has to set in.
Well, what's going to happen now? Who's Atlanta going to give the ball to, Howard? Number 31 is on the sideline. He has walked off for a rep. They got Bo Robinson in 33 to replace him.
29-yard line. Lynn Kane. A yard, maybe a yard and a half. It'll be second down and long. Lynn Kane now alternating a great deal of the time with the rookie from Arizona State, Gerald Riggs. He was a fourth-round draft pick, was Lynn Kane, back in '79, same year that Andrews came up.
If O'Kane is a squirmer, and he doesn't look like he gets much yards. That time, it looked like he only got a yard, but he squirmed for another couple, maybe 3 yards.
Follow second down and 7. Inside the 26-yard line, Atlanta moving once again and doing it on the ground. To the outside, and it is Bo Robinson, and he is up there again close to a first down, but they mark it now back close to the 20-yard line, so he will have less than a yard for the first.
A weary San Francisco defensive.
They have been out there
now,
almost the entire second half.
Right, taking its toll.
Bo Robinson, who just ran the ball, number 33, was cut by the Detroit Lions last year. The Falcons picked him up, and he's been a good acquisition for them.
He's a starter with Detroit until Billy Sims arrived.
All right, third and 1.
Less than 1.
Watch out, Williams.
And that's going to be close. Good effort by the 49ers front. They really stuffed that up.
As we have noted, the 49ers are a great defense in short yardage situations. And they were there again. I think they stopped him short of it, Frank.
It looks that way. And on the sideline for Lehman Bennett, decision time. And I believe he is going to send out Nick Luckhurst.
Well, I don't know.
Now he brings him back. He had him halfway out on the field.
I think
they're just waiting for the measurement, and then they're going to bring in Luckhurst.
But if it's close, I would not be surprised to see him go.
Meanwhile, a 49er is down.
That's Jeff Stover, 72.
The rookie out of Oregon.
They just can't afford any more injuries.
Well, it's about 4 inches to go for a first down, Jeff. I would not be surprised to see Bennett go for it, and I think that'd be the proper thing to do.
Well, he'll have time to talk it over. Let's take a look at it again.
This is how William Andrews looks at it. How Hacksaw Reynolds looks at Andrews. It's not much in there. Everybody stacked up. My goodness, somebody's got 72 in the chin.
Stover is number 72. He is the injured 49er, and he was right at the bottom of that pile up there working on the left side of his leg.
No penalty called, huh? They couldn't see that. In the meantime, Ronnie Lott was in on that tackle.
Yes, he was. As they look at the injured player,
the way they're stretching that out, I speculate that he might have a cramp in his leg.
Well, tomorrow night, there you are, Cincinnati versus San Diego. Kenny Anderson against Danny Fouts. That should be some shootout you guys are going to be at tomorrow
Interesting,
night.
Both those quarterbacks having their Bill Walsh connection.
Yep.
Cincinnati with a balance in its power, both offense and defense. Beautifully put together team. San Diego, so offense-minded. Fouts, remarkable last week here against the Niners. Had an unbelievable game.
He really did, but San Diego still hasn't proven they can play defense well enough to win in the playoffs or to win a championship. And you win with defense. As great as Dan Fouts is, he's got to have some defensive help.
We've kind of made that point.
Stover making his way to the sidelines, and it is a relief to know that it does not appear to be anything damage to the knee.
And Atlanta's
We'll
going
get a
for it.
report. It's fourth down, and they bring Luckhurst off the field, and They're going to go on fourth down.
I think it's the right decision, Jeff. Make it or not, it's the right decision.
Andrews gets it easy down close to the 15-yard line. Heading into the final seconds of the third quarter.
The reason it's the right decision, a six-point lead on Joe Montana is not much of a lead at all. Look
All
at
right, that's my point. That's why the San Francisco defenses have grown so weary. They've been out there the whole quarter.
And the reason for that, it takes more energy to play defense than offense. How's that?
First down and 10 at the 15-yard line for Atlanta. On the drive again, they lead 10-7. They'll let the final seconds expire here in the third quarter. Andrews has gone over 100 yards. We'll be back with fourth quarter action. But right now, this word from our local stations. Falcons 4-2 on this season. A win tonight, they'll be 5-2, looking awfully good for the playoffs. For the 49ers, the defending Super Bowl champion 49ers, they're 2-4. A loss could pretty much dim the lights for their season. Atlanta has a first and 10, 15-yard line of the 49ers. They lead 10-7, and this is Gerald Riggs. And Riggs breaks tackles and gets inside the 10-yard line. A gain of about 8.
Offensive line is just chewing them up. Let's look at the stats.
Yep, okay.
Frank. 49ers taken.
What you got with Riggs there, Howard, you got a fresh back going against a tired defensive team. Riggs has had he could rest the entire third quarter.
That's true.
But the 49ers have been going on, and they got another injury to John Hardy.
John Hardy is down for the 49ers.
All right, there were the halftime statistics, which you previously saw. It was all Atlanta in the second quarter after a virtual standoff. Neither team had scored in the first quarter. But through the third quarter, look at the first down domination. Look at the rushing yard domination, the passing yard, total domination, and, of course, total control in time of possession, which when the control is that total, the statistic matters, and it's still only a 3-point ball game.
Those numbers for the 49ers are shocking when you consider that their quarterback, Montana, at 5 consecutive games has gone over 300 yards on his own.
Exactly so. But, Frank, remember last year, this was the kind of game the Niners would win, the kind they're not winning this year.
Well, they're only out of this by 3 points, and even with Atlanta dominating, we've got a lot of football remaining.
But I never saw San Francisco dominate as they have been tonight, especially the third quarter. It's hard to play offense when you only have the ball for 2 minutes during the entire third quarter. The name of the game to win back when Bronco Nagurski played was defense. And defense won. In 1982, defense still wins. Montana's having as good a year as you could possibly have as a quarterback, and yet they're 2-4 going into tonight.
How do you know about Nagurski? You never saw him.
I saw Bronco this summer.
Hardy comes out, and Lawrence Pillars came in for Hardy. Now, we've already told you, Pillars, we were told, had a slight concussion, if there is such a thing. But he is back in there playing on the nose.
Wrong time of year for you to see Bronco.
Second down and 3. Andrews gets the first down, and more moving inside the 3-yard line is William Andrews, where it'll be first down, goal to go.
First and goal.
Howard, I was up in International Falls, Minnesota. That's the home of Bronco Nagurski. Still lives there, looks great. He's in his 70s now, and I visited with him, and what a legend he is in this game. What a great player he was for the University of Minnesota, Chicago Bears. As you look at the total yards for William Andrews against the 49er running backs, all of them.
Again, that's passing and rushing. Pass receiving and rushing. First down, goal to go.
And this set, it should be Riggs.
Riggs. And he does not get in, I don't believe. Just inside the 1-yard line, the rookie from Arizona State.
Give the 49ers credit. Some kind of gutty performance. They're tired. They've been driven on the entire night, but they get down the goal line and they stiffen up.
Just inside the 1-yard line, second down, goal to go.
And Lawrence Pillars is going back in the game.
Quick fumble, but play with rules yet.
We had a report that he had a concussion, Howard, and he's back in the game.
He had been there in a prior down. And then they bring back their goal line defense, and that means Pillars comes back in. Hardy's back in there, too, we might report. Riggs, touchdown, Atlanta.
Boy, Ronnie Lott made some play, though. He came around the corner and got a piece of Riggs and almost almost made the play.
But he did break the plane.
Yes, he did.
54-yard drive in 11th place.
Gerald Riggs, man who averaged 6 yards a carry in his Pac-10 senior year at Arizona State. Gained just about 900 yards, but Atlanta spotted him. Perfect pro. 6'1", 230 pounds. And does he compliment William Andrews?
And, Giff, there's a lot of criticism in Atlanta when they drafted Riggs. They said, why not draft a defensive back or someone to help the defense? You never have enough running backs.
Luckhurst for the conversion. Borowski holds. Sanders snap. And Atlanta has extended their lead by 10. They lead 17-7. We have 13 minutes remaining in the game. And but Atlanta gets it in, and they move out on top 10 by 10 points. They lead 17-7. Luckhurst to kick off. Amos Lawrence. Dana McLemore deep for the 49ers. They need to get something happening. McLemore, the rookie from Hawaii. And they are hitting here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And 49ers will have a 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line.
That's a vibrating machine on William Andrews.
Well, I hope not.
Well,
Yeah,
it's supposed to massage his
apparently
hamstring.
for his hamstring.
What will they come up with next?
It's given him a supercharge tonight, I'll tell you
I
that.
think it's probably a heating apparatus when they plug him into the bench when he comes out.
Well, everybody ought to wear one. If
Now
they
we
can
have
run like
another
the-
49er
That's
remaining on the turf, Amos Lawrence.
Always the knee.
Lawrence is being looked at, we told you earlier. Draft pick by the San Diego Chargers, and could not come to terms, so the 49ers was able to get him for a 4th-round pick.
How about
Now, how about that?
Tough night. And not all Joe Montana's fault. Good aggressive defense on the part of the Falcons. He's lost his
Great veteran there, Frank.
I'll
Jeff
tell
Van
you,
Note.
what a crusty old veteran, Jeff Van Note. He's the leader of the offensive line, the leader of this football team. Been around a long time and some kind of player. And we'll be back in just a minute.
to a 10-point lead, 17-7. We have 13 minutes remaining in the football game, and as I said, perhaps a season for the 49ers. They're 2-4, and they desperately need a win tonight. And they are struggling against a very tough Atlanta defense. 1st and 10, the 49ers at their 20-yard line. Montana dumps it out to Earl Cooper. Earl Cooper struggling for 1st down yardage, coming up a little short. They're not booing, they're shouting Cooper, Cooper here at Candlestick Park. He had a great string going.
He sure did.
Well, if he gets 300 tonight, we've got a story, boys.
Earl Cooper.
It'll be
Rice.
2nd down and about a yard, and Amos Lawrence, by the way, limped off. Jeff Moore, the most productive running back for the 49ers, went out early with bruised ribs. He can't play anymore tonight. Well, flags are down, whistles blowing. Montana moves away from the center. And we'll let Ben Dross sort it out.
False start, number 78.
Over the left side, Lindsey Mason. There's another problem the 49ers have had. Their number 2 draft pick, their first choice, Bubba Paris.
False start.
Bubba Paris, who was slated to move into that left tackle spot, was injured early in the year, so Lindsey Mason, a reject from the Oakland Raiders, is there. Goodyear Blimp Columbia is watching it all. 2nd down and 5. Montana, Wes Francis, hit hard by Al Richardson.
I believe that's the first pass Francis has caught tonight, isn't it?
That's his first.
You know, since coming over here, the trade with New England, he really hasn't been a factor on this 49er team yet. It just hasn't, he hasn't worked into the offense enough yet. And that time he came up short of the 1st down.
Russ was out for 1 year, and the 49ers gave up a 1st-round draft pick and a 4th-round draft pick to bring him back to football. 3rd and less than a yard. 17-7. Atlanta over the 49ers. 12 minutes remaining in the game. Ring gets the first down. Out close to the 33-yard line. It'll be first down and 10, 49ers. They need something to give them a spark. They're not out of this game, but they need a big play.
They need a 20 or 30-yard play to kind of loosen them up and get the cobwebs out and get them going.
Amos Lawrence has a bruised knee. That's why he went off.
And I mentioned the Jeff Moore, bruised ribs. The two Williams, Vince and Newton Williams, running backs for the 49ers. They were unavailable tonight. And it's open. Right Clark drops the ball, and I believe Atlanta will have it. Yes, they do. Atlanta's football.
That should break the camel's back. Well, Joe had a lot of time then. He capitalized on it. Clark does that, but rarely.
Kenny Johnson hit Dwight Clark, popped the ball loose. Bob Glazebrook came up with it. 42-yard line of Atlanta.
You watch Clark against Kenny Johnson. He just runs a fake. Kenny Johnson slipped. Clark is wide open. He gets the big play that the 49ers wanted. Comes in and he strips the ball by Glazebrook, I think. And tough luck for the 49ers.
Atlanta gets the turnover. Good field position. They'll be just beyond their own 41-yard line, and we'll be back in just a moment. Clark. String going.
He sure did.
Well, if he gets 300 tonight, we've got a story, boys. Earl Cooper.
It'll be
Rice.
second down and about a yard, and Amos Lawrence, by the way, limped off. Jeff Moore, the most productive running back for the 49ers, went out early with bruised ribs. He can't play it anymore tonight. Well, flags are down, whistles blowing. Montana moves away from the center. And we'll let Ben Russ sort it out.
False start, number 78.
Over the left side, Lindsey Mason. There's another problem the 49ers have had. Their number 2 draft pick, their first choice, Bubba Paris.
False start.
Bubba Paris, who was slated to move into that left tackle spot, was injured early in the year, so Lindsey Mason, a reject from the Oakland Raiders, is there. Goodyear Blimp Columbia is watching it all. Second down and 5. Montana, West Francis, man. West Francis. Hit hard by Al Richardson.
I believe that's the first pass Francis has caught tonight, isn't it?
That's his first.
You know, since coming over here, the trade with New England, he really hasn't been a factor on this 49er team yet. It just hasn't, he hasn't worked into the offense enough yet. And that time, he came up short of the first down.
First, Russ was out for 1 year, and the 49ers gave up a first-round draft pick and a fourth-round draft pick to bring him back to football. Third and less than a yard. 17-7. Atlanta over the 49ers. 12 minutes remaining in the game. Ring gets the first down. Out close to the 33-yard line. It'll be first down and 10, 49ers. They need something to give them a spark. They're not out of this game, but they need a big play.
They need a 20 or 30-yard play to kind of loosen them up and get the cobwebs out and get them going.
Amos Lawrence has a bruised knee. That's why he went off.
And I mentioned the Jeff Moore, bruised ribs. The two Williams, Vince and Newton Williams, running backs for the 49ers. They were unavailable tonight. And it's open. Right Clark drops the ball, and I believe Atlanta will have it. Yes, they do. Atlanta's football.
That should break the camel's back. Well, Joe had a lot of time then. He capitalized on it. Clark does that, but rarely.
Kenny Johnson hit Dwight Clark, popped the ball loose. Bob Glazebrook came up with it. 42-yard line of Atlanta.
You watch Clark against Kenny Johnson. He just runs a fake. Kenny Johnson slipped. Clark is wide open. He gets the big play that the 49ers wanted. Comes in and he strips the ball by Glazebrook, I think. And tough luck for the 49ers.
Atlanta gets the turnover. Good field position. They'll be just beyond their own 41-yard line, and we'll be back in just a moment. Clark. Atlanta, first First and 10, the ball just over their own 41-yard line. They've run the ball exceptionally well here in the second half. This is Darrell Riggs. Riggs maybe too deliberate, looking for the opening. Make the whistle hat blown. There is a scramble for the ball.
I don't know, but I'll tell you, you got to give the 49er defense credit again. They came up and just stuffed the run.
They have now another injured player. That is Fred Dean is down.
This defense of the 49ers is bruised and battered, Howard, but they continue to fight.
Fred Dean.
Difficult year.
And coming off such a great year a year ago. Difficult. Just absolutely spectacular. 12 sacks a year ago, 2 this year, and now the injury. We'll be back. Being attended to on the field.
I tell you what's a major problem for the 49ers for next year. And that is they don't have the draft choice. The team that next year must be watched in the draft is San Diego. They are absolutely loaded with draft choices.
Let's watch it on the left side of the screen. Fred Dean, 74, will be coming in to try to tackle Riggs. You'll see the injury. There he is. He's tackling Riggs. He's down. He twisted his knee, I guess, or I don't know. It's just...
They're working on his left side, either his shoulder or the rib carriage on the left side.
Look here at Atlanta. 21 runs on first down. Not much balance between pass and run, but there again, Lehman Bennett's trying to establish more of a ball control team and not depend on the big play. He's done that tonight, and so far it's paid off for him.
Well, the run has worked all night.
Well, last year he was a big play offense,
Andrews,
and it didn't work.
Crusher tonight. The point I was making, Frank, as you well know, when Fred Dean came over, there resulted a first-round option on the pass at San Diego, and San Francisco picks way down, and San Diego will get San Francisco's first.
And they also gave up a second-round draft pick for Fred Dean, but as you said, they'll have an option to, San Diego has the option to exchange positioning. Could be the right shoulder.
Yeah, no injury is good, Giff, as you well know, but you're just glad it's not a knee or a leg injury. The upper body can heal better than the legs can, and I'm glad to see it's not a knee injury for Fred Dean.
The 49ers struggling both offensively and defensively tonight, trying to stay in the race that will provide 8 teams from each conference in the Super Bowl tournament. Really losing out on their personnel also. They've lost several players tonight. Second down and 9. This is Bo Robinson. Robinson down the sideline. First down, yardage, and plenty more as he gets to the 41 of the 49ers. Dwight Hicks taking him out of bounds. Bo Robinson seeing quite a bit of action tonight, usually in positions when William Andrews has been fatigued, and he has been a workhorse tonight. William Andrews.
I'll tell you, Atlanta's got 4 pretty good running backs there. The Kane and Robinson go along with Big William.
Bartkowski and the Falcons in control. Riggs inside the 40-yard line to the 38-yard line. A gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7. Hardy there defensively for the 49ers. And for Atlanta, as they look ahead next Sunday, they'll be at home to Green Bay, and then their additional game, the January 2 game, will be at the New Orleans Saints, a team that they defeated 35-0 a week ago.
You learn fast in this business, as Bill Walsh, who's a veteran coach anyway, always knew. Never expected this year.
Robinson is a single setback. Riggs is flanked to the right, and Robinson will try the right side. And Robinson, good yardage, and he'll have another Atlanta first down, close to the 30-yard line.
You know, the interesting thing, Giff, we're up here with 9.5 minutes left to go in the game. You kind of get the feeling Atlanta's got control and they're going to win. They're only 10 points up, but it does look like they've just now are just dominating San Francisco. They're broken-hearted over there on the defense.
Well, they've been dominating them all night with the run,
but now they're really blowing them out. They're really blowing them out.
Well,
now.
they're exhausted. The third quarter proved that.
And they're hurt, and they're beaten, and they're battered, but they still fight.
Atlanta looking to move their season's record to 5-2, and in good shape to do so. First down and 10, the ball inside the 31-yard line, and this is Gerald Riggs. inside the 30 for a gain of a couple. It'll be second down and 8. And the clock is ticking off vital seconds to the 49ers.
It is Dean's shoulder. They're still working on it.
Looks like maybe the right shoulder.
Inside 9 minutes remaining here in the game. 49ers last year were number 2 rated in the NFL defensively. This year, coming into tonight's game, they were 11th overall in just their own conference. Bo Robinson gets down close to the 25-yard line, where it'll be third down and a little more than 5 for the first down. Robinson, as we mentioned, had a couple of good years with the Detroit Lions. That is until Billy Sims arrived, and then he was expendable. And he has not seen that much action, or coming in tonight, he'd only carried the ball 9 times.
And we're inside of 8 minutes remaining in the game.
Jeff Van Noe gets a little breather, and Eric Sanders comes in. Third down, long 5. Robinson again. Robinson, I believe, short of the first down. Keena Turner was there first defensively for the 49ers. It'll bring up a fourth down. So decision time again for Lehman Bennett. It'll be fourth in short yardage, about a yard. Do you go for it, or do you bring in Mick Luckhurst? Clock is ticking away the seconds. Well, the decision's being made.
I think he's going to kick this one.
Luckhurst is coming in.
Well, if he's successful in the kick, it makes the 49ers have to score 2 touchdowns in the last 7 minutes to win.
8 of 12 of the season. And he can hit for distance, too.
We're inside of 7 minutes now.
This will be a 39-yard attempt. He's hit twice from 51 yards this season. This one, however, he hooks to the left. And the 49ers will get the football back at their 21-yard line.
And I'll tell you,
they
boys,
have 6:50 to go, and they trail by 10.
And we still have a football game, Jeff.
They've done it in the past, but they have been totally ineffectual tonight against the Falcons. We'll be back, and we'll see. The 49ers a loss tonight, and they'll drop to 2-6, not mathematically eliminated from the 8 teams that will move into the playoffs from their conference, but in deep trouble. On first down, Montana, Russ Francis out over the 40-yard line for the first down to the 43.
Well, it's interesting. All of a sudden, Atlanta's gone to a 3-man rush, which cannot pressure Montana. He had time to throw. He found a big tight end, Russ Francis, and it's a big gain for him.
22-yard pickup, first down, 49ers. Now they race the clock. Plenty of time, however, 6:23.
They've got plenty of time. They get a touchdown in. All they need is a field goal to tie it. And they got as good a trigger man as there is in football at number 16, Joey Montana.
Montana now 121 yards to over 3.5 quarters of tonight's action. In the air again on first down. Dwight Clark, first down once again.
And there again, Atlanta still goes to the 3-man rush. A little more pressure, but Montana still got it off.
I love this crowd, too. They saw so many heroics from last year. They're looking for another one tonight.
Yes, they've grown to expect it from Montana. That's the second time tonight Clark was missed. Pelty was cheap-shotted, in this case, by young Bobby Butler from FSU.
And Joe Montana, hurt his left leg a little bit. He's limping a little bit on it.
Clark, 7 receptions, 83 yards, first down inside the 42-yard line. Three-man rush once again. Clark is open once again. And stops the clock as he gets out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Tom Pridemore defensively, but Clark once again, with his 8 receptions of the night, finds that little opening. He does it so well.
Boys, don't pack your bags yet. This is the Super Bowl defending champion. They didn't get there because they didn't have heart, because they do have heart. Montana to Clark. First down, 27.5-yard line. They're going.
Well, I think Bennett made a mistake going to the 3-man rush, and I also would have gone for the first down. They were totally controlling the ball. He could have used up the clock much more.
5:50 remaining in the game. Mike Wilson, second-year man, Washington State, top of your screen. Earl Cooper. And Cooper rips off big yardage. He'll get about 9.
They blitzed both outside linebackers. Joel Williams ran right by him, and they got a big play. And the 49ers are on a little bit of a roll.
Clock stop, 5:45. 18-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons. The 49ers trailing by 10. Eddie Solomon into the lineup. Out comes Mike Wilson.
Russ Francis back in there.
Plenty of great players.
Clark.
Second and 1. There's movement, and over the left side, they're saying
They're pointing at Francis.
that Russ Francis had drawn them off. Doug Rogers, a rookie from Stanford.
And the rookie from Stanford made a smart play. If they give it to him, they're
Offsides Atlanta, and
well.
Doug Rogers was maintaining that Russ Francis had moved and pulled him off, but it will be marked off against the Falcons. That will be a 49er first down.
And Doug Rogers happens to be right. He made a very smart play.
Contact. The tight end can move. First down.
Not too smart.
The tight end can move forward. Interesting.
First and 10. 13-yard line. 49ers struggling all night, trying to get back in it. Freddie Solomon, intended receiver. Good defensive play. Butler. Bobby Butler was riding Solomon all the way. Did not make the contact. No flags. Good play by Butler.
Some kind of hit by Butler here, but Montana threw a perfect strike, didn't he? Look at that. Great play by Butler.
Well, he's improved a great deal, Butler. He had a difficult rookie year, you'll remember. They took obvious advantage of him again and again and again. But now he's got confidence.
Solomon out. In comes Mike Wilson. And 2 tight ends. Russ Francis, Easton Ramson are in there for the 49ers. Second down and 10. 5:40 remaining in the game.
Roll to the right.
Cooper just inside the 10-yard line. It will be third and long yardage.
And what Atlanta's got to be careful of is Montana rolling to the right. As you know, he's got the capability of rolling to the right and throwing back to the left. He's got great vision on the field. He's already done it once tonight for a touchdown.
They mark it at the 9-yard line, so call it third down and 6. Seconds ticking away here at Candlestick Park. Wilson back in.
All right.
Along with Dwight Clark, the tight end Russ Francis on the right side of Joe Montana. Crowd on their feet. Montana to Clark, and almost picked off.
Kenny Johnson made a good play. Now, fourth down decision. You can kick the field goal where a touchdown would tie the game, send it overtime, or you can go for the 7. They're going to kick the field goal.
Out comes Wershing.
Good decision by Bill Walsh.
Hopefully we are reaching you. I do not know whether you're getting picture or not now. It's beginning to come back on our monitors. But again, if you were not with us, Ray Wershing missed from a 26-yard field goal, hit the crossbar. Briggs just ripped off a big gainer. Atlanta has a first down and 10 out of their 38-yard line. There are 4 minutes remaining in the game. 17-7. Atlanta over the 49ers. And up the middle goes Bo Robinson. Gets another quick 7 yards out to the 45-yard line, where it'll be second down and 3. And the 49ers now in deep trouble. They had tried to bring themselves within a touchdown and a conversion of tying this game up, hoping to get it into overtime. And Wershing, with a 26-yard effort, hit the crossbar, and it was no good. Atlanta on the move once again. They have the ball inside the 46-yard line. Second down and 3. Seconds ticking away for the 49ers. The 49ers have their 3 timeouts. But Atlanta has been able to sustain the ball on the ground throughout this entire half. And now Bo Robinson gets the first down midfield for the Atlanta Falcons.
And Giff, the offensive line is completely taken over now. It's interesting to me, Howard, that they're not using William Andrews here in these last two drives. They're going strictly with Bo Robinson, of course, the pressure back, and Gerald Riggs, the rookie. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. Howard, I'd like to listen to you, but I think your microphone is out. You can perhaps write it down, and I'll translate over here. We have had electrical problems here at Candlestick Park. They've affected our truck on the outside. So on 1st down and 10, midfield. This is Gerald Riggs over the left side. He gets about a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. We understand that somebody walked into the power room here at Candlestick Park and just threw the main lever, and all of a sudden we were gone. Sorry to inconvenience you at a very critical time. And San Francisco, Giff, has called a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining. And there's 2:27 left to go in the game. Atlanta still holding a 10-point edge. And once again, it looks as though the Atlanta Falcons will take tonight's game. They have a 10-point lead, 2:27 remaining. They will go to 5-2, and for the 49ers, they will go to 2-6. And as I mentioned earlier, Atlanta next Sunday will be at home to Green Bay, and then on January the 2nd, they will travel to New Orleans. They look very strong as one of the 8 playoff contenders in the Super Bowl tournament, if you will. I guess that's what we can call it. But Giff, on the 49ers side, if they can win their last 2 games of the season against Kansas City and Los Angeles, gives them a 4-5 record, they will have a chance to get into the playoffs, because I believe there will be at least one NFC team in the playoff with a 4-5 record. Then it comes to the tiebreaker. Of course, mathematically, San Francisco will not be eliminated, but it is not one of the rosiest pictures.
And now we understand we do have the video back again. We apologize for the inconvenience. We understand that somebody just walked in off the street, pulled the switch, the main power switch, and we disappeared for a while. 2nd down and 9. The ball at the 49-yard line of the 49ers. Atlanta on the move once again after a missed field goal attempt by Ray Wershing of the 49ers. Bo Robinson, the workhorse in this drive, and Robinson inside the 45-yard line. Great second effort. It'll be 3rd down and a long 4.
Robinson.
And the 49ers can stop the clock twice more, once with a 2-minute warning and once with 1 more timeout, and that will be it.
We have 1 timeout remaining. The 49ers. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Datsun, who invites you to test drive the exciting new NIS game to San Diego, where we'll bring you tomorrow night what shapes up is a real beauty, San Diego and Cincinnati. So that will be coming your way tomorrow night from San Diego.
Well, Giff, you've got to give credit to the Atlanta defense tonight. They've dominated this game. They've come up with big plays the entire night. They have shut out Montana, and you've got to give credit to Gary Glanville, the defensive coordinator of the Falcons, for putting together a game plan and inspiring his players to shut them down.
Bill Walsh on the sideline, who watched his team struggle and battled their way to the Super Bowl a year ago. It has to be a major disappointment, but the things that went right for them a year ago have not gone right for them this year. I'm speaking of injuries. I'm speaking of personnel that they anticipated would perform for them, such as their 2nd-round draft pick, Bubba Paris, offensive tackle, injured in the early going, unable to play this year. 3rd down and 4. Bo Robinson, right side. Short of the 1st down, inside the 42-yard line. It'll be 4th down. And we are heading to the 2-minute warning. And we will get that momentarily. So we have 2 minutes remaining in the game. The 49ers have 1 timeout remaining. It'll be 4th down, a long 2 for the Atlanta Falcons at the 42-yard line of the 49ers when we come back. 17-7. We have 2 minutes remaining in the game. 4th down, Atlanta. They have their punting unit on the field. There is Freddie Sullivan counting heads to make sure he has enough and not too many. George Roberts. It has not really been the answer to the punting game for Atlanta tonight.
I'd say not. Well, the 49ers have got a return on. They don't have the block on.
Like Freeman Bennett, he was very candid when I asked him about Roberts. He said, I made a mistake when I let James go and kept Smigelski. And this one will take a bound into the end zone, and the 49ers will have the ball at their 20-yard line. 1:52 remaining in the game. They trail by 10. They have one timeout. Howard, I think you're back with us now. We've got you plugged in. I regret to tell you you are not.
He is still off.
Technical problems here at Candlestick Park. We apologize. 49ers at their 20-yard line, 1st and 10. They can stop the clock but once. And having watched what they have done over the past few years, it's not a team that's going to not go out kicking, scratching, and battling. Montana. Mike Wilson has the completion. Out near the 28-yard line, short of the first down by about a yard.
You know, Giff, we haven't talked about a defensive end, 71, Mike Perko of Atlanta. They picked him up from Pittsburgh this summer. He had a lot of personal problems, but he has really helped this defensive football team out with the pressure he's put on the quarterback.
A lot of movement there. Several of the Falcons leaping offside. Were they drawn on? No, they were not. And that will give the 49ers a first down. 1:30 remains. Perko in there, of course. The loss of Jeff Murrow, broken arm. They feel that he could be back for their January 2 date at New Orleans. On first down, Montana back. To the sidelines, and he steps out at the 40-yard line, stopping the clock at 1:22.
Am I back, Giff?
There you are. You're back.
Okay.
Hello, Howard.
Really disheartening experience for Montana. Just an extraordinary competitor. And for this whole San Francisco team. But obviously, Atlanta will be in the playoffs. And obviously, this is a growingly strong team. Turning point came early in this game, first quarter. 4th down. San Francisco on the Atlanta 8. Inches to go. Montana thrown back on a quarterback sneak. Everything's gone wrong for the Niners since.
2nd down, 4. Montana back. Fires it complete. Freddie Solomon down to the 45-yard line. First down. Hurry up offense now by the 49ers. They have one timeout. They do not want to use it. And we have 1:05 and the clock is moving remaining in the game. They need a big one to have any hope at all. Out it goes to Cooper and off his outstretched fingertips. It'll be 2nd down and 10. 57 seconds remain.
All right, this telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited.
There they are. They flew so high a year ago to a Super Bowl victory over Cincinnati. They have had multiple problems with personnel throughout the year. The things that went right for them a year ago have not gone right this year. 2nd and 10. Intercept. This will be picked off. Kenny Johnson. Kenny Johnson races back into 49er territory, close to the 45-yard line. And this game is all but history.
I can hear Dandy Don singing now. The party's over wherever he may be. But he might have sung it a long time ago.
49ers, again, not mathematically eliminated. Next Sunday, they travel to Kansas City, and then they have the Rams here for the finale, January 2. And in the National Football Conference, Dallas and Washington have both clinched a spot in the playoffs. They're 6-1, 6-1, and Atlanta becomes 5-2 tonight.
And Giff, the Atlanta team will play a lot better offense than they did tonight in future games, I'm sure. The defense won this game tonight, but you've got to win with defense to get in the playoffs.
What a difference a week makes. Still Montana on the night, 16 of 31, 178 yards. And it was only a week ago that he was 31 of 46. Had a tremendous day, even though he was outdueled by Dan Fouts. 2nd down and 11. Bartkowski just going down, killing the clock. Final seconds ticking off. '49ers have one timeout. And They barely will let the clock tick off the final 2 seconds. And Atlanta has won 4 out of their last 5. And they have moved to a 5-2 record. We'll be back with a final word in a moment. Local listings. Our blimp has been provided by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Travel arrangements made through, and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. That's what Friendly Skies are all about. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.